Hello, everybody, and welcome into Jimmy John's Field for Star Wars Night as we get ready for another week of USPBL baseball. I'm Brady Beaton, joined by Tom Cavanaugh, and tonight we will have the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Tom, yesterday in a non-public doubleheader, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers picked up two very important wins. Have another big one today against the Mammoth team they haven't had a lot of luck against in 2024.
They have not. An 8-4 record for the Westside Woolly Mammoths this year against Eastside. They've had their number, but a couple of huge wins in 6-inning games yesterday in a doubleheader. They were a game under 500 coming in yesterday. They're now back above 500 at 19-18, but still, this game is so big for Eastside because, I mean, they just really haven't been playing that well over the last couple of weeks. Just it's either been the hitting or the pitching. I'd love to see Ryan Kotke's team come together for a full, complete win today.
And you look at the last time these teams met was the start of last weekend. Hoppers hit a little bit. They had some good things, but it felt like any time they fought their way back into the game, the Mammoths came with another knockdown punch, and the Hoppers could only get off the mat so many times. This is a big one, maybe not just for the record, but for the psyche of this Hoppers team.
Right. I know they're only a game back of first place right now, tied up with the Mammoths and the Unicorns, but you're right. They need to play a full, complete game just to get that confidence level back up going into the last week of the season. This is the second to last week of regular season baseball before we get to the postseason. So if they can get together and get a big win against the team they've struggled against this year, it's going to change things.
Hoppers in the midst of a stretch thanks to some poor weather earlier in the season. They've had some makeup, 6 games in 8 days. Now, when you only have 8 pitchers on the staff, you're going to need some length. So for John Kelly, whether he's pitching well or not, he's probably going to have to be out on the mound for as long as his arm will let him.
100%. I mean, he's a guy that can go long innings. He pitches on average 5 to 6 frames, and that's what they need out of him today. He's a guy that has one more walk than he does strikeouts on the year, but doesn't matter what happens out there today. He's going to give them 4, 5, 6 strong innings. And then you turn it over to the bullpen. They just got a new guy back in Nick Bastian, the lefty. So it helps out the relief staff a little bit. But just because of how many games they have this week, they need to shore up some pitching and have Kelly go a long way.
Well, let's talk about the first place team in this league, the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Taylor Jelenkowski's squad has been awesome, basically from Jump Street. And they've done it with some guys out as of late, but they're looking to get that magic number smaller and smaller and smaller and clinch a second straight regular season championship.
Yeah, man, these Unicorns have really stepped up on the toes of the Westside Woolly Mammoths, tied for first place in the league right now. But you mentioned, with a couple of guys out, they've had other substitutions that have come into the team late make a big impact. Zach Weaver's been a big help. So has Jake Walker, Hank Dodson, the second catcher behind Zach Beadle. And that's with guys like Dre Williams-Nelson and Francis Florentino out of the lineup. And you have a guy in Fox Liam that's hitting his stride offensively. I love what these Westside Woolly Mammoths are doing. They're about 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're playing steady Eddie baseball right now. But if they can continue their hot streak against the Hoppers, they get to take another half-game lead over the Unicorns and move on to another day of baseball.
Pitching matchup, it's a one guy that's been around in John Kelly and someone who's fairly new in Carter Fitzpatrick, getting ready for this matchup. And Tom, you look at this, we know both guys have good stuff. Kelly's just shown it a little more over the long haul.
Yeah, Kelly's got about 40-plus innings of work. As I mentioned, 31 walks compared to 30 strikeouts, so he's just about even in the walk-to-strikeout ratio. But like we mentioned earlier, he's going to have to go a long way today, and against the guy in Carter Fitzpatrick, who fills up the zone well. I mean, he had 102 strikeouts at Wayne State this past season, so you know he's got good action. He's going to miss a lot of bats, and this is only his 3rd start, just getting his feet wet in the USPBL at the perfect time.
And again, both sides have guys that can hit. Some have been up, some have been down. Lately, the Hoppers have been down. Mammoths have been up.
They have been. I mean, we just talked about a few of those guys for the Mammoth team, but, I mean, they're averaging at least a home run a game at this point. They are mashing the baseball. Jose Cedeno in that 9 spot. He's been a great player as well. Jake Walker, we mentioned him. Drew Fleming, how can we forget? He's been mashing the baseball as well. So they're hitting their stride. I mean, they've been hitting all year long, but if they can continue to do what they've been doing over the last couple of weeks, we're going to see them late in September.
A rare Wednesday night game here at Jimmy John's Field. We'll take a break, come back with more pregame. We'll have the Diamond Hoppers and the Mammoths when we come back here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Back here at Jimmy John's Field, getting ready for a Wednesday night game between the Diamond Eastside Woolly Mammoths. But before we go any further, let's take a brief moment to thank all those wonderful sponsors that make this broadcast possible. Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Corwell Health, Dave & Buster's, DTE, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealer, Pepsi, and United Wholesale Mortgage. Once again, we thank all our wonderful sponsors that allow us to bring you baseball here on the USPBL network and allow you to bring great games like this one between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Tom, we touched on it a bit, but you look at the standings and the Diamond Hoppers have struggled a lot recently. There they are in third place. I mean, at one point they had a sizable lead in first earlier in the season. Now, hey, the difference between 2 and 3, pretty big. They're trying to get back to those unicorns and back to those mammoths. They can string a few wins together in this next stretch. They'll be looking pretty good.
Yes, they will. And they're only a game back of first place. It's Westside and Utica tied for first currently. But like you mentioned, Eastside, they're 3-7 in their last 10 games of baseball. So they got to put together a good one today. When you look at both sides, it's a big game for both teams. But I think that Hoppers edge them out a little bit when it comes to how big this game is, just because they haven't been playing great baseball lately. The hitting hasn't been there, but when it has been there, the pitching on the relief side has kind of struggled. So if they're able to get both those sides honed in well today, pitch a nice game, smack the ball around the park against a guy like Carter Fitzpatrick and company, it's going to be a good day for Eastside and head coach Ryan Kotke.
But to say the Westside Woolly Mammoths have had the Diamond Hoppers number would be an understatement. A big chunk of those 19 wins have come against the green and orange.
8-4 are the Westside Woolly Mammoths this year against Eastside, and the last ball game was an 11-7 win for the Mammoths. They're looking for win number 20, would be the second team to achieve that mark this year, and they've just been smacking the baseball, man. I mean, you look up and down this roster, both teams are putting together their best lineups at the end of the year, and you got Zach Weaver hitting third, Fox Liam's in the mix as well, Drew Fleming, Nick Pastor, Anthony Sharkus, Zach Beadle, Jose Cedeno, and many others. There's not a weak spot in this Westside team. It's going to be on John Kelly to give a nice, strong start for Eastside, and let's see where they take them as they got to dip into that bullpen.
No, you mentioned the 8-4 record. So that means against the Beavers and the Unicorns, the Mammoths have a losing record. They're 11-12 against the other two teams in the USPBL. The Mammoths have built their first place resume on the backs of the Diamond Hoppers. Let's take a moment. Let's go to the pitcher comparison for tonight. We've mentioned John Kelly. We've mentioned Carter Fitzpatrick. There are the numbers, and very similar, although in a much different sample size.
Definitely. It's only been 9 1/3 innings for Carter Fitzpatrick, but in that time it's been pretty solid. solid. Strikeout to walk ratio is definitely in the favor of Fitzpatrick with 8 strikeouts and just 3 walks. His last time out in his second start, he went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and struck out 5 as well. So a nice outing for Carter. He's got great arm side run on his cutter, moves into right-handed hitters, throws about 90, 92 miles an hour, might top out around 94, 95 today. And John Kelly, man, when he's on the mound, he does not lose. 8-1 record through 44 innings of work. He is the guy to go on the mound. I know you have Pierce Banks and Ryan Carolden, but just that win-loss number right there definitely favors the Hoppers today.
And sometimes, for whatever reason, teams hit better with certain guys on the mound. I mean, you look at some guys' run support. Sometimes it'll be 2 runs a game. I like now, 4.3 ERA isn't terrible, but it's nowhere near the top in the league. But the 8-run record means these Hoppers hit when he's on the bump.
Definitely. The only thing he's going to have to figure out today is the walks. Look at the number at the bottom right of your screen. 31 walks compared to 30 strikeouts. John's last outing was back on August 7th against the Unicorns in an 8-5 win. He went 5 innings, only 3 hits, 2 runs. Neither of them were earned, but he did walk 4 and strike out 6. So if he's able to keep the walks down, the strikeouts high, he should go a good 5-6 innings today. But even if he doesn't, they're still going to need to get 5-6 good innings out of John Kelly just because of the amount of baseball they have to play this week.
And the Mammoths are in a somewhat similar boat. I mean, it feels like the Mammoths and the Hoppers got hit the hardest by the rainouts. So now the Piper's coming because they have to get all those games in before the playoffs start in just a couple short weeks. So very short bullpens, meaning managers are going to have to get a little creative and ask a lot of the guys that they put on the mound.
We might see some unfamiliar arms today. I know it was yesterday in a non-public game. Matt Gehrig actually threw for the Hoppers. Zach Beadle, he threw for the Mammoths. So there may be some same faces in new places today on that bump for both sides. Westside, I know they don't have as many games this week, but let's see how the Hoppers are kind of going to go with their bullpen here down the stretch. I'm really hoping John Kelly gives them a great start because the Hoppers need a big win today, but the Mammoths offense, it's hard to avoid them.
Well, here again, here's the Hopper stretch they are on. They played a game Sunday. Tommy and you were at that one. They played 2 6-inning games yesterday in a doubleheader. So there's 3 games. They play today. They play tomorrow. Add another 18 innings. They get Friday and Saturday off, but they're back at it Sunday for another 9-inning affair. Not to mention, next Wednesday and Thursday, they have 2 games as well.
Yeah.
These arms are going to have to step up. Yes, the bats are going to be important, but just having guys available to go on the mound is going to make a big difference whether these Hoppers are playing on that first game of the playoffs or if they're climbing up and maybe can steal that first place spot.
It'd be clutch if they were able to climb through and get to the top of the standings, but they only have about 5-6 relievers to go through over the next couple of days. I'd be very surprised if we saw Ryan Carolden come out of the relief appearance again. I don't think Pierce Banks will come out of the bullpen. He'll probably be a late game starter later this week. But you got guys like Nick Bastian, the lefty, Austin Baugh, Harry Orth, Caleb Rush, and Delmas Russ. Those are names that we're going to watch out for over the next several days that are really going to need to throw some big innings.
Absolutely, because, I mean, availability is an ability, especially at this point. Ryan Cockey, in one sense, he's going to have to be creative in figuring out who he's going to throw, and on the other hand, it's, well, I have 2 guys available. That's who's throwing today for him.
And let's say in a hypothetical situation, it's a wide margin of a score in favor or not in favor of the Hoppers. It doesn't matter. They're going to keep whoever that reliever is on the mound if they're giving up 2-3 home runs an inning, just because they need to save those arms for those games later in the week where it might be a little more competitive. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout either way, but if that ever happens in today or games down the stretch, just look to see the same guy throwing. I don't think they make many changes on the mound just because of 6 games in 8 days.
It's Eastside, it's Westside on a Wednesday evening in downtown Utica. We'll take a break, come back, we'll have starting lineups, first pitch, and more here on the USPBL Network.
Third baseman number 13, Tom Maddox, with Austin Politano and Nina Politano.
The USPBL powered by UWM baseball games at Jimmy John's Field are the fun and family-friendly experience you won't want to miss. Entertainment every week, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks every Friday, live music Saturdays, and Sunday fun days for the kids. Kids run the bases after every game, and parking is always free. Come see the stars of the future at Jimmy John's Field. Get your tickets today at uspbl.com.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
We're for people.
What a great job. Let's hear it for him, ladies.
Back here at Jimmy John's Field, national anthem sung. We're ready for baseball, and let's meet the starting nine for the road team in tonight's contest, the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Coming in tied for first with a 19-16 record, leading off the second baseman, Jake Walker. Fox Liam's over at first, he'll bat second. Batting third, playing third, Zach Weaver. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Drew Fleming. Colby Seltzer, the shortstop, he bats fifth. Nick Pastor out in center field, he bats sixth. Anthony Sharkus, the left fielder, bats seventh. Behind the dish batting eighth is Zach Beadle, and Jose Cedeno rounds out the lineup. He'll be stuck out in right field. Tom, you look at this lineup, who you're looking to have a big night?
I like Colby Seltzer. He has been red hot lately, just tied for the USPBL lead in home runs with Noah Marcoux at 7. And, I mean, he's hitting in that 5 spot. He's going to have runners on base, considering Liam, Weaver, and Fleming all are in front of him. I like Colby Seltzer today. He plays a really clean shortstop, but he's been hitting the ball all over the ballpark these last few weeks.
Again, John Kelly on the bump. A lot of things to like. The biggest, I guess, negative is that strikeout to walk ratio. Strikeout at a decent number, but the walks are just too high to maintain an 8-1 record.
Definitely. Whenever that number is about even is kind of when things get to be a little shaky. But I like John to be kind of dialed in today. He's going to be using his slider a ton on the bump, mix in the 4-seam fastball on the sinker and a little bit of a curveball changeup piece. But he's going to be heavy off speed, John Kelly will, as he's working third base side. And like we talked about in the pregame, he's going to need to give 5-6 innings today, no matter how it goes.
Moments away from first pitch, we'll take a quick look at the three-dimensional services defensive lineup for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Colin Cornwell, Zeb Rose, and Bryant Schellenbarger. No surprises in the outfield. Todd Maddox, he had a really nice day on Sunday over at third. Grant Stevenson's at short. Bailey Martin's at second. Ben Ferguson at first base. And behind the dish for them is Luis Aviles is catching for John Kelly. For these Diamond Hoppers tonight, as we are moments away from Jake Walker leading it off. Just a few more warm-up pitches from Kelly. And a sunny, not very cloudy day. It was a warm one coming in. Had a little bit of sweat during that pregame segment, but not too bad. It's nowhere near the warmest one we've had all year.
No, it's nothing like Mustafar. It's a good day to play baseball. We're sitting about the high 80s of work, and it's a little bit of breeze. Nothing influencing the flag out in center field.
So it is Star Wars night here. If you were with us Sunday, I apparently I had the sin of admitting I've never watched a Star Wars movie. Closest I ever did was I played Lego Star Wars on the PS2 as a kid. So I'm leaving all the Star Wars references up to Tom to my right. So he might make one and it'll probably just go right over my head. I'm assuming the reference he made, it's warm on whatever place in Star Wars. There we go. Context clues, kids.
Yeah, all the Star Wars nerds tuning in today are going to have a good time.
Jake Walker comes to the plate, gets us started. First pitch. Ball on the inside part of the plate at 7:05 on the dot. Punctual tonight. Back-to-back pitches miss inside. Kelly mainly uses that slider. It will work a four-seam and a sinker as well. A curveball and a changeup will be sprinkled in there for effect. 2-0. Fouled straight back. Came with the fastball at 93.
Going to have to attack these hitters today, but the tough team to attack. Jake Walker starting you off hot, and then everybody else in this lineup. I mean, you look at the next three guys, you're looking at about 6'2", 6'3" on average size, 220, 215 pounds. A lot of big hitters in this lineup for Westside.
2-1. Not a bad pitch from Kelly. Doesn't get the call, and it goes to 3-1. Swing and a miss. Healthy hack in time.
Nearly the same pitch as the last. A little bit lower. Got Walker to chase after it. Always tough to get that elevated fastball.
Kelly set. Holds the ball belt high, and he'll step off. And now Taylor Jelenkowski believes that should be a pitch clock violation. And I believe he's saying he has to use a visit, but Taylor Jelenkowski thinks that he gave him the cop-out, that he should have been called and not almost retroactively given the mound visit.
Right. John was not going to get that pitch off in time. He knew that the clock was ticking down to 0, and he stepped off to avoid that. But you're right, you have to use a mound visit there, especially with just 1-2 seconds on the clock. I get what head coach Taylor Jelenkowski at third base is trying to do right there.
Aviles had no intention of going out there first. Now, if there's a runner on base, you could feign a throw. We've seen that plenty of times. Much ado about nothing, as Walker, he'll take the base on balls, and the first man's aboard.
That's the way Eastside cannot start, as the leadoff walk to start innings, especially in a speedy guy in Jake Walker. Only gets tougher with the rest of this lineup. Fox Liam has been very impressive lately, nearly hitting 300 on the season with 5 pops.
Brings up Fox Liam. Dangerous left-handed bat. Half-hearted hack, strike 1. 94 on the black.
He's bringing it today. We'll see both guys in the low to mid-90s.
2 fastballs to get it started.
That's how you start off Drew Fleming right there. Handcuff him inside and then drop one at the bottom of the zone at the knees. He's one of the best at working out of 0-2 counts.
Liam fouls it back off the screen. 95 on that one.
He's grabbing back a little something extra today. And on a hot day, the ball's going to move a little bit faster, and that means the same thing off the bat.
When you know Liam's going to battle, sees more pitches per at-bat than anyone else in the league. Misses outside, 94, and you could hear the audible grunt from Kelly, really trying to rear back on that one.
And we've heard that from Delmas Russell a little bit, a reliever for these same Hoppers. Haven't heard that out of John. Not yet today. That was the first time.
Off to second, and that puts a hole on the right side of the infield that Fox Liam takes advantage of. Runners on the corners, nobody out here in the top of the first.
Heck of a start. Very average start for these Mammoths, getting a leadoff man aboard on the walk, and then Liam poking one out to right field. Nice pitch on the lower inside corner, but a better swing from Fox. He just went down there and got it with 2 strikes.
Zach Weaver to the plate. RBI opportunity here in the first. Walker drew the base on balls. Liam singled. This game just 5 minutes old, and the Mammoths already threatening. Gets through Aviles, and that will score the first run. He had no idea where it went, and the Mammoths strike early.
Just went 5-hole on him, right between the legs, did not get the glove down in time, and it squeaked right past. That's going to be a pass ball on Aviles, and we've seen it from these hopper catchers over the last couple of games, just giving up extra bases to runners because they just can't keep the ball in front. The ball pops out of the glove, gets away from the catcher, leading these aggressive base runners to another bag.
If I had to guess, that would officially go on as a wild pitch. Hit the dirt. I know the bar to clear for a pass ball is usually pretty high. Hard ground ball to short. Stevenson goes over to third, and they have Liam caught in a rundown. Hit it over. Martin has it in the bare hand, flips back. The tag applied. Third base pops off, and Fox Liam will head back to the dugout. Runs into out number 1.
He made that a lot closer than I thought. Almost slid underneath that tag at third base. Nice play there from Grant Stevenson at shortstop, knowing that Liam was in limbo between second and third. And a great exchange there. Ooh, it was close. It was very, very close. Gary Wagenschutz, our home plate umpire, made the correct call.
So I believe that goes into the book as a 6-5-4-1 fielder's choice.
Yes, sir.
Pickles are always fun to have to squeeze into that scorebook. Drew Fleming will have to wait until third base is fixed, because on that slide it did pop up. A little bit of everyone out there helping.
Shout out Dylan Dubois.
Did he just pull out his keys?
Yes, sir. We play softball together on Mondays. He hits absolute bombs.
Does he now?
Yes, he's got over 20 home runs this season. It's incredible.
How deep are the fences?
280.
Okay, so, I mean,
he still puts them out by 50 feet, but
still, you don't have to get all of it, but still, very impressive as is.
No, I got to give Dylan a lot of credit. He's the one that helped me, I guess, communicate with the USPBL and got me a job here. So,
look at that.
Shout out to Dylan.
Peak athleticism right there. And then the perfect shot right to Drew Fleming. Look at that transition. A's all around. Everyone here at the USPBL. Fleming takes ball 1 inside. We have down on the first base cam. Dylan's digging out third base. You know what that reminded me of was, I think it was the Big Ten championship game in like 2018 or 19 when the turf came up.
Oh, yeah.
And whoever's job it was had to furiously run out there and fix the turf with national TV watching. He got it done in like 3 minutes. I want to say it was like 2018 or 19. I think it was Ohio State, Wisconsin.
And when it's your time to shine, you got to come up big.
That one lifted well out of play. And Dylan not afraid to I don't know if I don't think he had a specific tool for it on the keychain, but whatever he used, he just said, all right, this is what we're going with.
Yeah, it worked perfectly.
2-1 to Drew Fleming. Kelly would love a ground ball here, mitigate the damage here in the top of the first. .94 on the black away to Fleming. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Weaver over on first, reached on the fielder's choice. 2-2. Strike 3 called. 96 over the heart of the plate. And Fleming, he had to have been sitting off speed.
Had to be, because that was not painted on the corner. That was caught more of the middle of the plate than it did the outside corner. But still a great pitch from John. And at 96 miles an hour, when you're looking off speed, that's nearly unhittable.
That's why basically any pitching coach out there will tell you sit fastball, adjust to the off speed. I understand it's tough when you're facing a pitcher that more than half the time will go with the slider. And it's also a lot easier to say and, well, in theory, than actually go up there and in practice sit fastball every time. Brings Colby Seltzer to the dish. No problem. Thank you. 1-1. Use the slider there. Weaver still over at first. Ground ball to short. Stevenson to his glove side. Short flip to Martin. And the Mammoths are retired, but not before Jake Walker scores on the wild pitch to give the Mammoths the 1-0 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Hoppers looking to answer here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Bottom of the first. Mammoths already lead at 1-0. The Hoppers coming up to bat. Leading off for the Hoppers, it will be Colin Cornwell, Grant Stevenson, and Noah Marcoux. Top 3 hitters in the lineup for Ryan Kotke's squad. And while you don't have to get the run back, it would feel real nice if you could even this one up going into the second inning.
It would be, especially since the Hoppers were only able to scrape together 1 run back on Sunday. But the offense did come together yesterday in 2 big wins. They only scored 7 or 8 runs yesterday. They were tight games, but they were able to get enough to win some ball games, get a back above 500. They got to have a big day offensively, especially in a public game, because Brady, we mentioned in the pregame, in front of fans, the offense just hasn't been there over the last couple of games.
No, and the thing that makes that performance even better is you remember they scored those 8 runs in 12 innings.
Yeah.
They weren't 2 9-inning affairs. Doubleheaders are only 6, so no, that still isn't a great number, but that makes it just a little more impressive. It's Carter Fitzpatrick getting going quickly ahead, 0-2 Fitzpatrick. A cutter, a curve, a change, and then a slider. Also has a 2-seamer listed, has not thrown it yet since he's been here in Utica. Cornwell lifts the 0-2 deep, but foul out of play.
Fitz has been good since coming into the league. His 3rd overall start today. 8 Ks, 3 walks in his 9 1/3 innings, but he's given up 11 hits on 5 earned runs. It hasn't been the walks, it's been the bat-to-ball contact from the hitters.
Goes to 1-2, not a bad miss from Carter Fitzpatrick, and I think Carter wanted to see the lawnmower start.
Yeah, he was hopping out there on the mound.
Ground ball hit to second, almost ate up Walker. Nice recovery over to Fox Liam for out number 1. And with that, let's take a look at the defense presented by 3 Dimensional Services for these Westside Woolly Mammoths. In the outfield for Westside, Anthony Sharkis, Nick Pastor, and Jose Cedeno. It's Weaver and Liam on the corners, Walker and Seltzer up the middle, and Zach Beadle, the backstop today for Westside rather. Grant Stevenson, my goodness, put that one up near the satellites and it comes down, and Fitzpatrick will field his position well for out number 2.
Very different contact on the first 2 batters. Sharp swing from Cornwell, and this time Stevenson just a little bit underneath. That's a good 91-mile-an-hour fastball in the inner half that Stevenson just lifted in the air. I'd love to see Noah have a good day. 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Back on Sunday, he had 3 strikeouts. He's due for sure.
First pitch to Noah Marcoux, breaking ball. Caught a lot of the plate for strike 1. He had to have been sitting fastball, because if he's looking for that, it's a souvenir.
Can't throw that again. At least not in that same spot. But I guess he did. Wow.
He threw the same pitch.
And he got the way out in front swing and miss. Marcoux, he was way, way, way out in front of that.
1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Noah Marcoux. Carter Fitzpatrick quickly dispatches of Marcoux, and we head to the second. 1-0 Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
Top of the second, 1-0 Mammoths. They'll send up 6, 7, 8 in the order. That's Pastor, that's Sharkus, and that's Zach Beadle, as John Kelly hopes to have a less turbulent second frame.
There's a common saying in baseball, leadoff batters get aboard, but even more, the leadoff walks come around to score. So Jake Walker getting aboard with the leadoff walk last inning. Can't let Pastor draw one and find first base to start the inning. Have to try to get the leadoff man because these Mammoths are just too darn good when they have a leadoff man aboard, considering Fox Liam hit him to third and the wild pitch got him to score.
Tom, it's something we'll say till we're blue in the face, and it's a very simple concept because, I mean, baseball, when you break it down, can be a simple game. He only gave up one hit. It was the walk that really hurt him.
Yeah.
And you go back to, I guess, the general theme of that whole concept is free bases, whether it's a walk, whether it's a pass ball / wild pitch. Anytime someone gets to move up or get on base for free, that's tough to overcome, especially when you stack those. 1-1 to Pastor. Kelly works from the stretch at all times. He settles, delivers. Swing and a miss. 92. Nowhere near his top end velocity. Still got it by Pastor.
Challenged him right down the middle with that one. That's how you have to approach it right now after walking the leadoff guy last inning. Go right at the leadoff man, Pastor, here in the second.
Foul down that left field line. Pastor is able to catch up a bit to the 93-mile-per-hour fastball. I like the idea. Was way late on the last one. Rear back, try it again. One, two. High chopper, right side. Into the glove of Ferguson. He'll take it himself. That's U3 in the scorebook as Pastor bounces out.
Interesting pitch there on 0-2 after blowing two fastballs by Pastor. The second one he caught up to a little bit, but still late. Threw some off speed, and that's why Pastor was around on it. He just didn't have a good swing. If Nick has a good swing, catches some barrel, that ball's down the right field line in the corner. Don't usually see an 0-2 after back-to-back blown by fastballs going to the off speed, but he still got him out.
Anthony Sharkus will take ball one. Not a bad pitch from Kelly. Swing and a tapper off the glove of Aviles. He's feeling that fastball pretty well today.
He is, and it's been working for him. He hasn't had a ton of pop off of it yet. Liam's was a fastball that he ripped into right field, but other than that, he struck out Fleming on a nice painted fastball, got Seltzer to ground out to end the inning on the same pitch. I'd continue to go back to it. I know it's his secondary pitch behind the slider, but until these Mammoths make an adjustment, I'd stay with it.
Vila steals a strike there.
Nice job by Luis.
Kelly set the 1-2. Swing and a high bounding ball. Kelly off the mound, sidearms, pulls Ferguson off the bag, and Sharkus will reach on the error.
And he had more time. Very awkward catch there from Kelly as he had to come off the high bit of the mound down to the flat back and then just tug the throw. He had another second or two to set his feet. You saw that front left foot was a little bit open towards right field, and that's what sent the throw a little bit haywire.
That's a frustrating one because that is a tougher play for Kelly coming off the back of the mound, but I think he rushed the throw when he didn't need to.
Definitely. He definitely had more time, and because he was backpedaling to make that catch, all of his momentum was pushing out towards center field, so that's why the throw was influenced and moved up the line, because all of his momentum was heading backwards.
It might have been a bang-bang play, but I think he could have had time to recenter his gravity and fire it over there.
John's got a heck of an arm, too, so he'd zip it over there quickly.
Falls behind Beetle. 2-0. Last one didn't miss by much. Got that pitch over. Slider on the outer part of the plate to the righty Beetle. 2-1.
That's where you have to live with that pitch right there. Just on the outside corner to right-handed hitters. Nice pitch there, swinging back outside from Kelly.
Smoked foul. One over hit near JJ's cage. He's getting ready.
Kelly already approaching 35 total pitches through an inning and 2/3. He's going to need to climb up into the 80s, the 90s, but have some short innings over the next few frames.
Ground ball would help the cause right here. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 95 near the top of the zone. Gets his second strikeout of the day.
Last pitch was at 90. The pitch before was 95. That last one, 95. I mean, my goodness. Top of the zone. Tough to catch that pitch. Beetle swing right through it.
Kelly felt that pitch. You could see when he turned around. He knew he got a good one. I like it.
He's looked good so far. Just the one hiccup on the leadoff walk and the wild pitch. Other than that, John's been great.
That one missed outside. Jose Cedeno to the plate. 9-hole hitting right fielder for the Mammoths. Kelly comes set. Waits the 1-0. Half-hearted hack and a half from Jose Cedeno.
Guess instead of the sword, we call that the lightsaber today. That went right through.
See, that's one I'll get. I'll get that Star Wars reference. The saber. So instead of what? Putting it in the sheath, you have to like. Would you close the lightsaber?
You could
throw down to second, and that one hops into center field. Sharkus wants to move up. The throw over, not in time. First to third goes Sharkus. Wild pitch and a throwing error puts a runner 90 feet away from home with 2 away.
Good heads-up base running. Sharkus sees it take the bounce, trickles past the second baseman Martin. It's going to be a long throw for Zebros in center, and Sharkus squeaks on a third. Aggressive base running is going to continue to put runs on the board for this Mammoth team. It's going to be on Eastside to clean it up defensively. But back to your point, it's more of an unsheath. They just click a button on the lightsaber, and the Kyber crystal just continues to fade away.
The science of Star Wars. So I guess the celebration would just be click the button.
Yep.
And see, that's not as cool.
It's not as cool.
It doesn't look as cool.
And you don't have the sound effects, too.
I mean, you could make it for yourself. Yeah. Might look a little weird out there, but 3-1 to Cedeno. RBI spot for him here in the second inning. Mammoths already lead it 1-0.
Likely going to get a mid-90s fastball right here.
Right at Stevenson and into the glove. Got a 91-mile-per-hour pass ball, right as Tom ordered. Runner gets to third, but no further. Cedeno lines out. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Mammoths up 1-0 on the USPBL network.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
When it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Homebrewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Tom will have some on Friday as we move on a Wednesday. Bottom of the second inning. Ben Ferguson, Zev Roos, and Bryant Schellenbarger getting ready to bat for the Hoppers.
That classic hazy IPA, baby.
The first baseman, number 16, Ben Ferguson.
Got to be careful with the two-hearted.
100%.
Carter Fitzpatrick, I mean, he looks solid in that first inning. Got to be careful with him. I mean, a ground out, a weak pop out, and a surgical strikeout of Noah Marcoux.
Yeah, surgical's putting it lightly. He dropped 2 breaking balls down the middle and then sunk one low and inside again in a swing and miss on just 3 pitches. Figuring out these Hoppers right now. Eastside, they have to get the offense going. Just find a first leadoff base runner and things will start to tumbleweed for you offensively.
1-1. Ben Ferguson. Pitch misses away, 2-1. Ferguson on the year, just a couple points above that 300 mark. He's been solid. Good count here, up ahead 3-1. Tom said it earlier, leadoff base runners usually lead to runs. And he'll get on via the base on balls.
It's a great start.
Shortest bat flip back to the bat boy we've seen all year. Mistimed that one a bit.
Uncharacteristic there from Carter Fitzpatrick on the mound. As we mentioned, just 3 walks in 9 1/3 innings, and he loses them on 4 pitches.
Yeah, see too much height on that bat flip. First pitch here to Rose, misses inside, 1-0. That's 5 out of 6 misses for Carter. That one didn't miss by much, can't get the call.
Right in the upper outer corner. Good take from Rose.
When you get squeezed, especially when you're struggling, it just makes it that much more frustrating.
Yeah.
That one, 91, low inside corner for strike 1.
That was painted. Same pitch he threw to Marcoux on the opposite side of the plate. If he has that working today in that same exact spot, it's going to be a nice day for Carter.
Wave and a miss. Way out in front. Zeb couldn't hold up.
Second time in 3 batters we've seen one of the top hitters for Eastside way out in front on a breaking ball. The change of speeds is unbelievable. 18 miles an hour difference between that fastball there and breaking pitch.
Check swing didn't go, gets away from Beadle, throw down to second, and Ferguson actually had to get a bit dirty. He wasn't taking a stroll, but he wasn't at 100%. Nice hustle from Beadle to make that a play.
Yeah, Zach got over there in a hurry, had to bare hand and whip it over, but once Ferguson saw Seltzer coming on to field the ball and make a catch, Ben got down. Ground ball to the right side, does a job right here for Zeb on 3-2.
Strike 3 called, 91 low and in. Zeb doesn't like it, but that's a great pitch from Carter Fitzpatrick.
Same thing he threw him for strike 2. Lower inside corner, painted it. Great pitch.
Here comes the lefty in name only, Bryant Schellenbarger.
Shelley was the bright spot back on Sunday. 2 for 3 with an RBI.
Big swing and a miss on the first pitch, 0-1.
Talked about how much he loves the left side of the field, the opposite side of the field for him, but a ground ball to Walker or Liam, if he hooks this around, that'll do a job. Also a base hit to left with Sharkus playing fairly deep.
Quickly 0-2. How quickly Carter Fitzpatrick has turned the inning around.
Right. And I think it's a little bit on both sides here. Fitzpatrick is fooling these guys, but at the same time, we're seeing a lot of free swings here from the Hoppers.
Easy take on the fastball away. That's about where Beetle was set up. I have a feeling that's a setup pitch.
Yeah, I like that spot. I mean, if you paint that outside lower corner, to Schellenbarger it might not work, but to most hitters it does.
Ground ball to the right side. Walker fields it cleanly over to first. Ferguson moves up to third, but there's 2 away, so it'll take a base knock from Todd Maddox to bring him home.
Hey, that'll do. It's a breaking pitch down in the zone. Schellenbarger way out in front of it. He just had to tap it onto the right side. Well done. And now, wild pitch. Anything gets away from Beetle, they can return the favor, just how Westside scored in the top of the first.
First pitch, lazily lifted, shallow center field. Seltzer brings it into the mitten. Carter Fitzpatrick works back from missing on 6 of his first 7 pitches to get the next 3 batters out. We head to the third. Still 1-0 Mammoths on the USPBL network.
And fans, it's now.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and recenter life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Back here on the USPBL network, 1-0 Mammoths after 2 on a gorgeous Wednesday night. Temperature right at 80, a little humid, not much wind, and the best thing of all, no chance of rain.
None at all. Perfect day for baseball, and that's all you can ask for down the stretch here as we reach mid-August. We're only going to play into 1 week of September, but if we can hang on and have this same sort of day for the rest of the year, boy, I'll be happy. So will these players.
Baseball was not meant to be played in November. That's why I like how the USPBL sets everything up, because we might have a game or 2 below 60 degrees. Maybe.
And it was, what, 72 the other day with some brisk wind? Other than that, it's been mid to upper 80s every single day we've played, sometimes the end of the 90s. It's a good bounce back inning in the second from John Kelly. Just had that one throwing error to let Sharkus reach. But a huge strikeout on Zach Biddle. We're seeing John Kelly overpower with the fastball. Second time through the lineup, I guarantee these Mammoths will be a little bit more on time on these 90-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Walker, Liam, Weaver, top 3 hitters in the order. Get us started, the Lafayette, Indiana native. comes to the plate. First pitch, can't find the outer part of the plate, 1-0. Ground ball, foul.
I know we mentioned the importance in the standings for both these teams, but it's just a little more important for Eastside just because of their confidence level. Being able to hit the ball all around the ballpark, score a crooked number in a few innings, that's going to be clutch. They got to pick it up here in these next few frames.
Opposite field hit for Jake Walker. He reaches for the second time and has many at-bats. Leadoff man on first for Fox Liam.
Clean swing the opposite way. He has been an awesome leadoff hitter for this team throughout today's game and all year long. Can't ask for much more when your leadoff man gets on to start the first and the third innings.
Fox Liam singled last time up, was thrown out, trying to move up to third on a ground ball to the left side. Kelly always checks behind his back shoulder for the runner at first. Delivers, misses low. Kelly very closed off when he comes set. Throw over to first before he even comes set. Easily back Walker.
Yeah, peripherally, I think it's a little bit easier for him when he turns back towards second base.
Well, you can see that's actually less drastic than it has been at times. Walker faked the run down to second. He will scurry back to first. Pitch misses high and away, 2-0.
I think Jake had intentions to go, but he didn't have a great jump to start. Might have slipped or didn't get his toe in at first. And if you're a good base stealer and you don't have a great jump on that first step, you always return to the base.
Throw over, gets away, and up to second goes Walker.
That's now 4 times now that the Hoppers in the first couple of innings have had a throwing error to lead to another base. Aviles throwing it into center field, leading Sharkus on to third. The pass, or the wild pitch, I should say, to score the run. The error from Kelly at first, and then another pickoff move that gets by. They're just giving extra bases to these Mammoths right now. Lucky it's only 1-0.
Two-0, wave and a miss. 2-1.
Fox wanted every stitch of that one, man.
Hey, 2-0, you have a runner on scoring position, there's nobody out. That's a spot where you can uncork
100%. That's the type of swing you want on 2-0.
Has 5 long balls on the year. He's trying to make it 6. Pitch inside. Liam has the jackknife out of the way, 3-1. Kelly trying to avoid the second walk of the day. The pitch. 33rd base on balls for Fox Liam. Mammoths have played 35 games coming into tonight.
Jeez. That's incredible. And he just beat out Noah Marcoux for walks. He was tied with Noah with 32 at the top, and now he takes the lead in the USPBL.
Brings up Zach Weaver. Limited action here at Jimmy John's.
Yeah, Zach just 2 for his first 12 at the plate, but when he hits it a long way. We saw his home run last week. That was an absolute bomb to left field. And then he hit another one that we called that was fairly well hit and just didn't get out of the ballpark.
Oh, he smoked it. I'm sure he was shocked it didn't go out. I know you had looked down to just write home run in the book.
I wrote home run in my book. And then I heard your call, and I said, no way. There's no way that stayed in the park.
That one hit very high, not quite as far, and well foul. Couldn't keep the weight back.
Just another big bat to add to this lineup. We mentioned it pregame, having guys in Dre Williams, Nelson, and Francis Florentino out of the lineup right now recovering from injuries. Getting Zach to fill in this spot, play a really nice clean third base, and add a powerful bat as well. It's why the Mammoths sit at the top. They always find ways to fill guys in and be productive.
0-2, throw to first, and they got him. Liam running to second, and he tried to duck. Did the smart thing. I guess he wasn't going to go back. I like the idea of trying to go underneath of it, but that's the second time Fox has run into an out.
He got flat-footed there. He took his secondary lead, flat-footed, and it was an easy throw for Aviles. But smart on Fox's part not to get onto second base, because that could have been a double play, tagging out Walker as well.
He got complacent, I think would be the best word to describe that. And nice job by Aviles and Ferguson to be on the same page and back pick him over at first. That's a big first out. Hit a hard but foul.
That was just a mental error on the part of Liam. Just was not expecting Luis to back pick down to first base. He, like you said, got to give credit to Ben for being there. Wonder if it was premeditated or it was just a throw at the last second over to first. Because sometimes we'll see the catcher scrape the dirt with the glove to initiate it.
Swing and a miss. 95 at the letters for the third punch out of the day for John Kelly.
And how fast an inning can change so drastically. First and second, nobody out in just 2 pitches, turns to 2 outs with a runner at second base.
Drew Fleming, he went down looking his first time up. Pitch misses low, ball 1. Fleming, an RBI spot. Chance to make this a 2-0 game. Kelly set. The offering. Got the call on the outer part of the plate, 1-1.
Fleming's doing pretty well with runners in scoring position. 18 for 67. That's good for a .367 batting average with guys on second and third.
Overthrew that one. In the left-handed batter's box, Aviles had to slide to his right to bring it in.
It's a great job from the Hoppers catcher to not allow Walker to move up an extra 90 feet. He had to really lunge into the other batter's box.
Ooh, Aviles, I think he got some dirt in the eye. Kind of important when you're catching.
He said thumbs up. They're not going to assess a timeout or a visit there.
Kelly comes set. 2-1. 3-1.
That's where Kelly was missing to Liam on that walk a couple batters ago. He's just pulling across his body a little bit. First couple of innings, he was dialing in with that low to mid-90s fastball. Now just a little bit left.
Ground ball right to Grant Stevenson. He's got a gravity about him. Throws over to first to get the final out. A single and a walk, but neither come around to score for the Mammoths. We head to the bottom of the third, but Drew Fleming records the 5th third out of the game with that punch out, or with that ground out rather. And with it being the middle of the third, it also means it's time for JJ the Water Boy. Making sure our umpires are nice and hydrated on these hot summer nights. JJ, brought to you by Michigan First Credit Union.
Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Bottom of the third, 1-0 Westside. They scored in the top half of the first. We're in the bottom of the third as Aviles, Martin, and Cornwell, the 8-9-1 batters in the Hopper order, come to the plate.
Eastside still looking for their first knock. Just one base runner came at the hands of Ben Ferguson. He was stranded last inning. Bottom of the lineup, got to turn it back over to the top with a few base runners. Carter Fitzpatrick has been steady on the bump in his start.
Leading off with Eastside Diamond Hoppers, the catcher, number 8, Luis Aviles.
Vilas, not a ton of time here in the USPBL, but offensively, not a bad start for him, hitting .278. He's drawn a couple walks. He's driven in 4 runs through his early portion as a Hopper.
He's been catching a lot of barrels. Not too many strikeouts as well, with just 5. That's in 20 at-bats.
Fitzpatrick in the motion, in the dirt, 1-1.
Yeah, Beetle got caught with that one, inner thigh. Took an extra skip. I don't know if he was expecting an off-speed pitch there. Let's take another look at it. Turned it over late, and it just took a small bounce. He was expecting a much higher bounce into the glove, and it just catches that left thigh.
Yeah, that's going to be a bruise in the morning.
Especially with our grounds crew, when they water down the field, they put some water down in front of home plate, so when those balls do bounce in front, they stay low. They don't bounce over the head of the catchers and take that high hop that we see sometimes on the warning track in the outfield.
Nearly caught Aviles, just turned out of the way, 2-1. Fitzpatrick on the bump as the glove bell tie into the motion. Ground ball to third, gloved by Weaver, fires across the diamond, 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
It's a good bounce back pitch there from Carter Fitzpatrick. Nearly hit Aviles, then comes back and throws one in the upper inner corner. Aviles almost got around, roped that down the line, but a clean play from Weaver.
Here's Bailey Martin out of the 9 spot. Average not great, but Tom, boy, does Bailey find a way to get on base. Well, there's a base knock down the left field line. Could be extra bases. Sharkus picks it up. Martin will cruise into second with a 1-out double. The first hit of the game here for the Diamond Hoppers.
First extra base hit from either side. Sharkus with a little bit of a bobble out there in left field, went to backhand it, fumbled it, and then fumbled it again on the transfer, and that's what led Martin onto second base. That's why you always take a hard turn around first, so that in the action of a bobble in left, you can continue your momentum onto second base and don't have to restart the engine.
The way he came out of the box, I think he was thinking double from the get and was going to test Sharkus' arm.
He might have. Anthony's got a really nice hose out there in left field. If he came up with it clean, I think he might have put the brakes on, but on that bobble, he was gone immediately. But that's why you got to come hard out of the box, because when you see the bobble, you're already in motion to go to second base. You don't have to turn on the jets in extra gear and try to beat the throw.
Ground ball to the right side, knocked down by Liam. The flip, got him. Bang, bang play, and there's 2 away.
Nice knockdown from Liam. Almost caught it clean. It was a little bit out of his reach. And the ball actually kicked back towards first, so it made it a little bit easier, and heads up to Fitzpatrick to get over there in time and field the PFP. It's another inning with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. See if these Hoppers can clutch up with 2.
You can tell me no. Can you get a close-up shot of Kottke? Because I'm pretty sure he only has a mustache. Grant Stevenson to the plate. Third base coach, there's their manager. So he's standing behind on the third base coaching box. Stevenson lifts it high, not far to the right field side. Cedeno calls off Walker, and the 1-out double does not come to pass. We've played 3. It's 1-0 Mammoths on the USPBL network.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corewell Health.
Back here, top of the 4th, USPBL Network, Westside, Eastside. It's the Mammoths with the 1-0 edge on their Eastside Diamond Hopper counterparts. Colby Seltzer, Nick Pastor, and Anthony Sharkus coming to the plate here in the 4th inning.
Just 1 run for these Mammoths, but they've put runners in scoring position every single inning. Stranded a man at 3rd in the 2nd, and then ran themselves out of a 2-runner inning in the 3rd. Fox Liam getting backpicked at 1st after a strikeout and ground out to end it. John Kelly's worked out of a few jams. He's looking for his first 1-2-3 inning.
He's given up just 2 hits. Depending on how you score it, you could have assessed as many as 3 errors to the Diamond Hoppers in the first 3 frames. Sharkus reached on one, moved up when he tried to scoot to second on a wild pitch. Throw went into the center field. That's where you could give another one, and then the pickoff error over to first.
I think the big number is just 2 hits right now, and Kelly gives up a fair amount of extra base hits, 4 doubles, 4 homers against him through 46 innings. But so far, it's been just soft stuff.
First pitch, a long swing from Colby Seltzer for strike 1. Same swing, 68 on the gun. I think Kelly tried to take as much off that as he could.
Absolutely. That was a golf swing there from Seltzer, just did not get any piece of it. Way out in front. It's tough to stay back on a 68-mile-an-hour pitch with a ton of break.
Do you try to rear back and throw it as hard as you can here? If you can get it to 94,
yeah.
95, almost a 30-mile-per-hour difference.
That would be sweet.
Ask and we shall receive. 94 on the black for strike 3.
That was painted. Unbelievable pitch from John Kelly right there. Dotting up the outside corner. Nothing Seltzer can do. That's how Fleming went down back in the 1st.
4 innings, 4 strikeouts for John Kelly. Nick Pastor comes to the plate.
And when he's in the zone and he's commanding strikes, unhittable pitcher right now. We've just seen the 2 pokes, Walker and Liam with the 2 hits, but nothing in the gap, no real big swings so far from these Mammoths, a team that traditionally hits the snot out of the ball all game long.
1-0. 94 for a strike. Looping breaking ball misses away, 2-1. Pastor, the New York native, waits on the 2-1. Way ahead in the count, 3-1. Kelly has walked 2 so far in the game. And he was about even strikeout to walk. In fact, he had walked 1 more than he had struck out coming into the game.
He's working a little bit better on that now with 4 Ks and 2 walks.
Hit hard to center field. It'll drop in front of Rose for a 1-out single. I thought for a moment Nick had hit it too hard.
So did I. It looked like Rose was coming on to make the catch. And a little bit what Sam Baduras did last week with some topspin on that baseball, but a smarter decision from Rose to just hold up and take it on a bounce. Kelly's been working out of innings. It's 1 base runner on. I think it's been a base runner every inning for these Mammoths, but they've done a nice job since the first in limiting the damage and putting up zeros.
Shark is 0 for 1, reached on an error his last time up. Ground ball knocked down by Kelly. Only play he has to first. This time he retires Sharkus for out number 2. Pastor scoots up into scoring position for Zach Beadle coming in the 8-hole.
And John would have loved to glove that clean and look for 2 there. But you guarantee yourself a second out. This was hit fairly hard by Weaver, 94 miles an hour. Hot shot on 1 bounce back to Kelly. And now it's on the Mammoths this time to come up with a clutch 2-out hit. Both teams have been in this situation several times to start this game. Unsuccessful have been both teams every inning.
Beadle, strikeout victim in his inaugural at-bat. Not a great start there. Big swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was breaking pitch, but still a little bit late on it. He was waiting and just took a second too long to swing at that one. Great pitch on the outside corner from John Kelly. He has been hammering the zone, minus those 2 walks.
0-1. 0-2.
That's nice from Aviles, too. That one catches the lower outside corner. Might have been a little bit off by like an inch or 2, but it's on the catcher from the Hoppers to swing that back in and stick it for a strike. Those are pitches that change at bats.
0-2. Trying to strand Pastor at second. Fastball can't get the outer part of the plate. 95 just missed the black.
And that was a little different from Aviles there. He tried to kind of pull the glove back in, and for a home plate umpire, that's an easy call when a catcher yanks the glove to try to influence the call and make it look like a strike.
Still ahead in the count. Kelly delivers. Inside out swing, pops foul into the Mammoth dugout.
I like John to go back with that 94, 93 mile an hour fastball in the outside corner. He's been sitting there today around 92 to 94 with the fastball. And if he gets it on that outer black again, it'll be a tough pitch for Beadle to go after. He swung and missed at an upper outer fastball last time.
1-2. Nibbling at the corner. No one's biting. 2-2.
It's a great take from Zach. Back to back on the outside corner, not missing by much, and he lets him go.
Pastor, big lead off of second. Kelly comes set, delivers. Popped up. That one's slicing out of play. Nice battle from Zach Beadle after the first 2 pitches got on him pretty quick.
He fell in an 0-2 hole and then battled back. He's seen 4 pitches, 2 that he's fouled off, and another 2 from John that have not missed by much. So far in this inning, Kelly has missed by just an inch or 2 off the plate.
Two misses upstairs. 3-2.
Now Zach's worked a really nice at-bat. It's going to be on John Kelly here to see what pitch he is more confident in. Does he go with the slider, trying to get it on the outside corner, or back with the fastball?
Three balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Just a bit too high. Man, Kelly a bit frustrated because really 3 of those 4 misses were small misses.
Exactly. I mean, those calls could go either way. I mean, we've seen pitches called farther out of the plate for strikes over the course of the months that we've played baseball here at the USPBL.
And the 3 innings we've had so far today.
That's true.
We'll give Jose Cedeno a chance with 2 on and 2 away. 1-0 Mammoths here in the 4th. Inside 1-0. And I love this mound visit. Before I even saw he was going out, about to say, think this would be a good time to calm John Kelly down.
Yeah, you want to nip it in the butt before the at-bat starts to kind of unravel a little bit. After that first pitch, they got to talk about it for a second. It's more so adjustments in placing of the baseball. They're not talking mechanics for John Kelly right now. It's all about where they want to pitch against a guy like Cedeno. He had a nice swing last time. Opposite field line drive to shortstop. That was caught for out number 3.
Well, and I think that first pitch was a hangover from the pitch that walked Beetle. Yeah. I think he was still a little flustered, thought he should have been out of the inning. One and one after that ugly swing from Cedeno. Nice pitch from Kelly.
John has not put many pitches over the middle of the plate. There was one to Beetle, middle, a little bit low that he missed on. Everything else has been on the corners.
2-1. That one nowhere close. 1-0 Mammoths. We're here in the 4th. Runners on first and second. You have Pastor on second. He singled, and Beetle, last batter, walked. 2-1. Missed low, 3-1.
It's a big batter right here. Do not want to turn it back over to Jake Walker, who has reached in his first 2 plate appearances.
3 balls, 1 strike. 2 on, 2 away here in the 4th. The pitch. Fastball got over for a strike.
I know that's middle, but go with that one more time. See if you can overpower Cedeno. He swung and missed at the first pitch on the outside corner at the same velocity. Do it one more time.
Runners will be off with the pitch. The 3-2 offering. Inside skips by Aviles, and the bases are juiced.
He went with the fastball, just tugged it.
And there's a herd of Mammoths on the base pass. Waiting to ramble on home, hoping to get a hold of the second base.
We talked about it in the pregame. Not a lot of depth in the bullpen right now with 6 games in 8 days. John Kelly, he's going to have to work through it right now. He's the man in the arena.
Yeah. He's done a nice job the last few frames working out of jams, but he has not loaded the bases yet today, especially in a guy in Jake Walker who walked and singled so far in this game.
Yeah, maybe the last guy you want to see right now. Umpires are talking about something. Are we going to get a violation on Walker? Did he take too long?
I think so. Field umpire Nick Kubitsky made the call, called time as soon as
Taylor
Walker didn't look up.
Jelenkowski is a bit perplexed. That's the second time he has disagreed with an assessment on the pitch clock.
So Walker needs to be engaged with Kelly and staring down back at the pitcher's mound with, I think, 8 seconds to go in the clock. If he is not engaged with the pitcher, that is when they will make that call. And it's an easy call for the field umpire since he can see the batter.
The very unscientific method of, since I've been here and anecdotally, I would say 70% of pitch clock violations are of that variety before the first pitch is thrown. There's so much foul ground that guys will meander their way to the box and take too much time.
100%.
1-1 to Walker. 2-1 to Walker. John Kelly has nowhere to put him. He's walked the last 2. Bases are loaded. 1-0 Mammoths here in the 4th.
Guys have their routines when they get up near the dirt too. So I guess you just got to be a little bit quicker and be aware of that pitch clock.
Kelly comes set the pitch. Swing and a miss. 91. And Kelly one solid pitch away from getting out of the inning unscathed.
Mammoths have left one base runner on in each of the first 3 innings. They're staring down 3 right now. Walker needs to come up big with 2 outs.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kelly gets the sign, comes set. 2-2. Swing and a miss, 94. John Kelly, he's fired up. He leaves the bases loaded, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Still a 1-0 game, thanks to the clutch strikeout from John Kelly here on the USPBL Network.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Everyone has something that motivates them to do better. And for me, that's my daughter Shelby. I named Shelby Construction Services after her as a reminder to always run the company in a way that would make her proud. Our goal isn't just to get the job done, but to get it done right. And that means making sure every customer has a 5-star experience. I think how a company treats you is just as important as the finished product. My daughter wouldn't have it any other way.
Call 833-6-SHELBY. That's 833-6-SHELBY.
Bottom of the 4th, still 1-0. Mammoths lead the Diamond Hoppers. Hoppers send up their 3-4-5. Noah Marcoux, Ben Ferguson, and Zeb Rose. Heart of the order. There's that big looping curveball that had Noah in knots last time up. He's able to foul that one away.
Yeah, he gets a piece, not as far out in front of it as he was last time, but that pitch is right down the middle. He just got to wait on it.
Skips that one in. 1-1.
It's been a good duel of the fates today between both sides. John Williams would be proud.
Swing and a foul straight back. Once again, Fitzpatrick ahead in the count with the dangerous Marcoux.
I think you throw that breaking ball again. I know it's a scary pitch sometimes, especially against a guy in Noah, but he has not handled the breaking ball in the middle of the zone very well today.
No, he didn't. Next time he cuts, do it in between batters. Misses low with the breaking ball. Again, that is as slow and as looping of a breaking ball as we've seen from Fitzpatrick, and it's been all to Marcoux. Swing and a miss, back-to-back punch-outs on Marcoux, and that's the 3rd strikeout of the outing for Fitzpatrick.
It's 5 strikeouts in his last 6 at-bats for Noah in public ball games.
And how about that mustache from Ryan Cockey? Usually he's rocking the full beard, but I guess he thought he had to change something up. And as a mustache man myself, I can appreciate that one. That is as solid as you're going to get. That's a baseball mustache.
I don't think he beats you out, though.
Ferguson lifts one to right field, didn't get all of it, and Cedeno brings it in for out number 2. I don't know. That's a pretty solid one. See, the problem with mine is I can't grow a beard, so the upper lip is the only spot I can grow facial hair. See, that one's full.
Yeah, it does look good.
It's only that is one heck of a look now. He's probably hoping he can have a few smiles with that, with scoring a few runs, being down 1-0. But if nothing else, A+ on that. I can't believe it took us till like the 3rd inning to notice. Because he got done with BP pretty early today.
Yeah, we didn't see him. I'd like to see who could pull off the handlebar between you two.
It would be him. See, again, mine doesn't go much further than it is right now. Ground ball to second, Walker over to first, and quickly in order go the Diamond Hoppers. We played 4, 1-0 Westside here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
You know, they say, losing hope, that's the real disaster. Last year, Tropical Storm Fred sent a devastating wall of water and debris down this river. And when the waters receded, Belfour was here. Not just to rebuild, but to help restore the life of this community. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Back here on the USPBL Network, top of the 5th inning, and we haven't had any scoring since the first frame. 1-0 Westside.
It was on Jake Walker scoring on a wild pitch that got by Luis Aviles. And how about both these pitchers? Carter Fitzpatrick gets a clutch 1-2-3 inning, the second time he's done that in 4 frames. And John Kelly, man, he walks 2, gives up a base hit in the 4th, and picks up 2 huge strikeouts to start and end the inning, stranding all 3. 6 left on base through 4 innings for Westside. They should have a few more runs right now. They just have not had those clutch 2-out hits.
Fox Liam, Zach Weaver, Drew Fleming all coming to the plate, so not a fun trio to face if you're John Kelly. Again, he's only given up 3 hits, but the walks have come back to bite him, especially last inning.
Yeah. And walking the 8-9 batters in a lineup is never good. So it was a clutch strikeout on Jake Walker to finish that frame and not allow any runs to come across.
Leading off for the Westside Woolly Mammoths, the first base.
Kelly's going to battle as long as possible. Nobody getting warm in the bullpen for Eastside, so he's going to be trusted with at least the next 2 innings, I'm thinking.
Liam has not been retired today. A single and a walk. Starts with a fastball high and away, and Liam swings through it for strike 1.
Either on 2-0 or 0-0, you can have that big swing. Fox did last time on 2 balls, no strikes. Ended up pulling off the walk on 5 pitches.
Hits it hard down the right field line, and that'll drop in front of Schellenbarger for a hard hit leadoff single.
Another clean swing down the first base side for Fox. Low and inside, same pitch he got in his first at-bat where he poked it on the ground to right. This time lifts it over the head of Martin on a bounce to Schellenbarger. Third out of 5 innings now for Westside. They've had the leadoff man aboard. They've just scored 1 time, and that was on the leadoff walk. Haven't had a leadoff walk since that first inning.
Zach Weaver takes ball 1 near the top of the zone. 1-0. For the 5th straight inning, Mammoths have a man on board. Swing and a miss as John Kelly is nearing the century mark with pitches.
Wow. He is getting really up there. I haven't checked it in about an inning. checked him at about 35 in the second. Now, you're right, just about approaching 100.
Getting base runners on. I mean, this is the third time through the lineup. And, you know, a few walks, that elevates the count. A few singles. Nothing has gone easy or quick, I guess, for Kelly.
No. Needs to have a 1-2-3 inning. Has not had any of that. The least amount of batters he's seen in an inning is 4.
Down the left field line, foul. Stays 1-2.
And here's a conversation we can have. Nobody in the bullpen currently getting warm. You're approaching 100 pitches. Are they thinking Kelly can throw about 120? About 115?
That is a great question.
Because without anybody, unless somebody is already hot and ready to go, which we did not
I have not seen
anybody so far
any
getting
movement.
Loose.
They're between a rock and a hard place in terms of pitching. Oh, that one missed hair low. That one's borderline, but John Kelly could have used that one.
I mean, it's sort of a double-edged lightsaber at this point, just because, you know, you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't with Kelly on the mound.
Isn't that one Darth Maul?
Dude, yes, sir.
Yes,
let's go, Brady.
I got one.
Come on. I love to see that.
I'm clapping for myself.
I love to see that.
I got a Star Wars reference.
He's my favorite, by the way.
3-2. Runner on first, Fox Liam.
We've only seen one other pitcher in the league throw 100 pitches in a ball game. That was Greg Lokinen last week.
And there's the walk. Runners on first and second. Nobody out.
I'm very intrigued with the situation for these Hoppers right now. Does a position player come in and pitch?
That was just about where I was going to go with it, because the only other thing I could think of is that with no one there, someone who's going to pitch is either on the field right now.
I mean, Harry Orth is heading down to the bullpen currently. He doesn't have a bullpen catcher with him.
That's important for warming up. Kelly misses away 1-0.
And here's a good chance for Westside. You have one of your best hitters at the plate with 2 on, nobody out. Capitalize in a spot like this and put up a crooked number and widen that lead if you're Westside.
Ground ball, this could help. Over to second for one, the relay, double play. Just what the doctor ordered for John Kelly as Fleming bounces out to the 6-4-3 double play.
Huge play right there. Bottom, outside part of the zone. Fleming hooked around it. Stevenson had to come in hard. And a beautiful turn for 2. And another chance, a runner on third base with 2 outs for another one of your best hitters. Let's see if someone from either side can clutch up with 2. And just light stretching now, continuing to update that bullpen. No throwing currently, so if Kelly's able to get out of this frame here, likely won't go back out for the 6th.
And again, with 6 games, 8 days, and 8 pitchers, 9 pitchers, or 8. That's not a good ratio for Ryan Cockey. (2-0).
Give a huge shout out to John, though. I mean, he has been a workhorse today. 105 pitches, and he's limited this Westside team to just 1 run so far. Very impressive.
He's played with fire. He's able to walk the tightrope out of danger every inning, and he should get out of it here. Rose coming in, makes the catch on the run, and Seltzer flies out. A single and a walk doesn't hurt the Hoppers. They still trail by 1. We continue on to the bottom of the 5th here on the USPBL Network.
Andy Appleby. I'm the owner and CEO of the USPBL. We're a 4-team league. We play at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Tryon has a wealth of resources that we can tap into when unique HR issues arise, even including visa and immigration issues related to our players. Tryon has helped us to get our baseball season up and running every year and has made a difficult task much easier.
That's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early, giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees, and helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Back here, bottom of the fifth, it's a 1-0 game. Brady beating Tom Cavanaugh here as the Westside Woolly Mammoths tied for first in the league. There you see some of the numbers, and the offense is what jumps out to you.
256 average, number 1 in the USPBL, and that 4.46 team ERA is why this team is tied for first place. And 24 home runs, nothing to bat an eye at right there. These guys crush the baseball. And look at those team strikeouts to team walks. They draw 174 while striking out 233. And this man on the mound, in Carter Fitzpatrick, has been dialed in today. Just one hit given up. That was a double by Bailey Martin back in the third. Very quiet offensively for Eastside. They're looking to get it going here in the middle innings.
Yeah, the offense has gotten them to first place, but tonight it's been the former Warrior Carter Fitzpatrick getting it done. Just been slicing and dicing through 4 innings. 2 runners in scoring position, but even then, it didn't feel like there was any pressure. He got out of that inning fairly easily.
No, both pitchers have been great today in working out of jams, and Carter has picked up his offense fairly well. Westside just has not been able to get that clutch 2-out hit to drive in a few more runs, and that's why we still stand at a 1-0 ball game.
Bryant Schellenbarger takes the 0-1 for a strike. Beautiful backdoor breaking ball. It goes to 0-2.
That snap back in there.
Schellenbarger grounded out to second last time up. That one misses low and away. Fitzpatrick hasn't even thrown 50 pitches yet.
Very different from John Kelly.
He's been economical, and when he's gotten ahead in counts, he's finished off the batters.
And a big reason why is just one walk. That was to Ben Ferguson to lead off the second inning. Other than that, it's been really good command.
Slapped it foul down that third base line. Didn't get a lot of it, but Shelley almost had extra bases if he tucks that 6 inches to the right.
Boy, he loves that opposite side of the field. We were talking about his spray chart back on Sunday. About 85 to 90% of his baseballs go that way. So he's looking to that left side of the field. Seltzer, he's playing up the middle at shortstop.
Wave and a miss. Fitzpatrick gets the best of him, and that's the 4th time he's fanned a hopper today. 1 up, 1 down here in the home half of the 5th.
It's been a deadly pitch. Starts at the letters and drops down at the knees. Let's take a look at it on the replay. Fitzpatrick, starts that high, drops it down low. It's tough to get right there for Schellenbarger as it misses right over top.
Looked like one of those swings where halfway through, you know you're in a bad spot, but you can't hold up. Brings up Todd Maddox. He popped out in shallow left to the shortstop Seltzer behind 0-1. Just 1 hit on the day for the Diamond Hoppers so far. That was Bailey Martin's double back in the 3rd. That one high, fairly deep to right field. Cedeno near the track, not on it, brings it in for out number 2.
Fitzpatrick just figuring out these hopper hitters. We mentioned earlier just 1 run scored from Eastside back on Sunday in their last public game. They have not found anything but 1 hit through 4 2/3. And this is a team that was crushing the baseball for the first month and a half of the season. We've talked about it multiple times, 6 or 7 guys hitting above 300, and now you look at the stat sheet, just 3 hitting above 300 in Cornwell, Marcoux, and Ferguson.
Well, even talking to Ryan Cockey, the manager for the Diamond Hoppers back in May, he knew that they weren't going to keep at that pace because that is a ridiculous pace. He just didn't think they'd all go cold at the same time. Yeah. Aviles lifts it into right field, and the last 8 Diamond Hoppers have been retired. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings, sends it to the 6th. 1-0 Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, we've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
John Kelly, let it ride. He's coming back out for another inning of work. Tom, it's just the reality of the situation. I don't think under normal circumstances John would be coming back out for another inning, but again, 6 games, 8 days. All right, so you take 6 innings off because yesterday was 2 6-inning doubleheaders. That's still, quick math, 50 innings for 8 pitchers over the span of basically a week.
John's going to need some ice after today, but he is giving his all in this ball game, and it's just 1 run allowed through 5 full innings. And John's had a fair amount of strikeouts to go along with a few walks as well. He hasn't given up more than 1 hit an inning, and he's stranded 7 base runners now through 5 frames. I'd like to see John go this whole inning. Harry Orth, who is in the bullpen for the Hoppers, he will be next to be called on. But John, I know his velocity might drop a few ticks considering he's into the 3-digit mark of pitches, but if he can continue to get these Mammoths out like he has been, I mean, could still be a 1-0 game going into the late frames.
Because on the one hand, yes, he's given up a base runner in an inning, but on the other hand, outside of the 4th, he's never really stacked them.
Yeah.
When he had the single, then a ground up, and then back-to-back walks, he's done a good job bouncing back. And, well, John Kelly, he's getting his money's worth tonight.
His family in attendance as well. They're loving what they're seeing out of him. Wow.
Yeah, there's 89 on the fastball, and that's dropped a little bit. But again, considering I think he's got carte blanche the rest of the way. That one flared into center field. A good pitch gets spoiled. And that's a leadoff hit and another base runner for the Mammoths.
Yeah, with the velocity dropping, these hitters are going to be a little bit more on time. They were struggling at the beginning with the 93, 94 mile-an-hour fastball from John. But this one, I mean, even at 93, they made an adjustment there. And not too hard hit. Like we mentioned last inning, Kelly has not given up a ton of hard-hit baseballs today, and that's going to be the end of his night.
That tells me that I think John wanted to come back out for the 6th.
I think so.
Because if he had to, then Ryan Cockey would have had to keep him out there, but he gives up the single, and we will have Harry Orth on the mound when we come back. 1-0 Mammoths on top here on the USPBL Network.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
The Kenosha native Harry Orth comes into the game after 109 pitches of John Kelly. Orth will try to take the baton and, well, get as close to the finish line as he can.
We've seen Harry Orth at his best recently. 5 no-hit innings in a start last week. Harry's gonna need to keep this team, this Westside team, at just 1 run. Considering Eastside has been struggling at the plate, they're gonna have to find an inning to pop off for a few runs. But heck of an outing from John Kelly. He goes 5 innings, allows 5 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. 5's across the board, and he's responsible for the base runner in Nick Pastor at first base. Let's see what Orth can bring to the table right after a strong start from John Kelly. Man, that was sweet. 109 pitches.
And you just saw there the numbers for Harry. 7 appearances, 14 innings, so he usually goes on average 2 innings an outing. He might be asked to stretch that to 3, and if he's pitching well, could be 4.
Yep.
Sharkus swings at the first pitch, 0-1. Sharkus and Beadle will come to the plate. Cedeno comes up after.
I think they were going to let John Kelly go until he gave up a base runner in that 6th inning. And because Pastor had the leadoff swing, that was the end of his night.
I have to imagine that conversation between John and manager Ryan Cockey went, hey, I can go out for the next inning. And he goes, all right, well, we're in a tough spot. You get 1. First base runner, you're gone. I think that last pitch caught Aviles off the thumb or somewhere on the glove hand. Looks to be all right.
We've seen Luis take a foul ball off his throwing hand, too. He keeps it right in front on his lap. Does not tuck it behind him.
Gets the strike call to go to 0-2. Orth, fastball, splitter, slider. Pretty standard mix. 0-2. Fouled straight back. Fastball up near the letters.
It's a good pitch. Making Sharkus climb the ladder right there.
Hard hit ball past the diving Stevenson into left. Going around second, heading to third. The throw cut off, and moving up on the throw is Sharkus. So the back-to-back singles have the Mammoths in business.
It's great base running from number 21, Anthony Sharkus of these Mammoths. He saw Cornwell slide to cut that ball off. He ripped that. He had to slide in the gap, cut it off, and because Cornwell's throw was heading on the way to third base, that's what led Anthony on to second.
So, Tom, put your official scorer's hat on. Do you give him the double because he throws to the cutoff man? Does he get to second either way?
I think he does. It's tough, though, because Cornwell, if he looked right directly at second base, I don't think Anthony would have gone.
Ooh, they got crossed up there.
That one drilled home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz.
Didn't flinch, at least from our angle.
Saw that happen to Tim Heigl earlier this season. He got caught right in the middle of the face mask. And that was 90 miles an hour, maybe off the shoulder. But also, Sharkus doesn't get to second base if Nick Pastor doesn't take third. So because that ball, even though it was hit hard, it was somewhat in the gap. Pastor, very speedy, was able to move on to third. That's what drew the throw from Cornwell, leading Sharkus to second. But I ruled it a hit, just a single.
Right.
I don't know if it's a double. We'd have to double check.
Yeah, that one I think you can argue either way. And that's what makes scoring in baseball so tough, because 10 people different can look at that, and 5 can rule it a single and 5 can rule it a double.
It's not like Cornwell made the wrong decision with the throw. He hit the cutoff man. It's just because the throw was very looping and high and did not go on a line. That's what led Anthony to have a few more seconds to take second base.
Now, if we had a view of just the whole field, is that one hit to third, Maddox bobbled it, throw to first, not in time, and it's off the glove anyway. Run comes in to score, 2-0 Mammoths as 3 straight runners reach.
Incredibly tough play for Todd Maddox right there. Had to tiptoe the line, backhand, just could not keep it in his glove. And neither did Ferguson as it deflects off of his mitt at first.
All right, well, let's keep that official scorer hat on. Hit or error on that one? That's another tough one.
It is. I think I'm going to give him a hit here. I mean, because Maddox was able to collect and still throw over, I think that Beadle was able to leg that out in time. I don't think if Ferguson makes the catch, he's out.
With regular effort, does he glove that and throw over would be the question. And even if he gloves it cleanly, that's a tough play. I think if you're going to err on the side of hitters, that's a hit.
Yeah, I'd hate to give Todd an error there. And Ferguson, I think because Beadle beat it out, it doesn't matter if he made the catch or not.
Well, but on the flip side, if you're a pitcher-friendly scorer, you give that an error because from Harry Orth's point of view, he didn't make a bad pitch.
No, and that run.
That run will go against John Kelly.
Yeah, he finishes with 2 runs allowed on 5 hits, 5 Ks, and 5 walks.
So if you do score that a hit, we'll find out later what the official scoring is. Beadle would get credit for the RBI. Swing and a miss from Cedeno, 2-2. Although even if you scored it an error, there is a way you could still give the RBI because you're saying he would have scored anyway, regardless of the error.
Yeah, I think he would have scored regardless. There's no way Todd was able to throw home there and try to get the runner.
Because Pastor was coming straight down the line. Counts full on Cedeno.
That's a great take. Inside pitch. You could go either way with it, and Cedeno stands strong.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Harry Orth use a ground ball. Hoppers would trade a double play for a run. Quick throw over and nearly caught Beadle a little lackadaisical.
He scurried back, not going down, so you knew he was caught off guard there as he was there back standing up.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. It hits off the top of his glove. And, well, that's back-to-back infield hits for the Mammoths, and that's an RBI for Jose Cedeno on a ball that went about 60 feet.
Nothing's going right now for Eastside. That's just a very unfortunate play as it tips off of Orth's glove. Man.
Next up, the second baseman, number 9, Jake Walker.
It took a weird bounce at first and then spun right over the head of the right-handed pitcher. And this was the inning Westside needed. After just lingering a 1-0 lead through 5 innings, they're able to grab a crooked number.
Harry Orth hasn't been hit particularly hard. The whatever you want to call it, the single or double, the hit from Sharkus was the hardest hit one of the bunch, but the last two hits went a combined like 140 feet.
Neither of them found the infield dirt.
So the box score right now saying Orth is having a very poor relief appearance. The eye test is saying, man, don't buy any lottery tickets if you're Harry. Two and 1 to Jake Walker. A walk, a single, and a punch out. Hard hit to Grant Stevenson under the glove, and when it rains, Tom, it pours. 4-0 Mammoths, and the inning's unraveling.
It feels like a wider margin than it is, just with the amount of unfortunate bounces we've seen in this inning from Eastside. And this one here from Stevenson, it looks like he dives for this baseball when he had it in his range. It takes an extra bounce at the last second. Stevenson was getting over there, but down to the knees, and the ball sneaks underneath.
And when someone as sure-handed as Grant Stevenson is making an error like that, because that could have very easily been a double play ball. I mean, Grant Stevenson has, maybe it's recency bias because the last couple of games we've seen him, he's been wonderful, but he just doesn't make that mistake.
No.
I can hit him that ground ball 500 more times and he doesn't make that mistake. It just feels like these Mammoths have some voodoo hex curse on the Hoppers.
They do. Everything's bouncing the Mammoth way right now.
8-4 overall on the season in this matchup, the Mammoths are. And against the rest of the league, they're 11-12. Even when the Hoppers were going good, all their losses were to the Mammoths.
Westside won the first 5 meetings between the two. And that was when Eastside was at their peak.
Runners on the corners, you have Walker over at first, you have Cedeno over at third. Fox Liam, swing and a miss, and a much needed out number 1.
After 4 leadoff base hits in the air on the swing from Walker, they absolutely needed that.
Zach Weaver to the plate. 0 for 2 today with a walk. Orth, first pitch, misses low with the fastball.
A lot of pop in this right-handed bat for Zach Weaver. Only 1 extra base hit so far this season. It was nearly a 400-foot bomb to left.
Swing and a miss, no contact, and everyone will scoot up. Cedeno scores, 5-0 Mammoths.
That's one that needs to be snagged. 83-mile-an-hour breaking ball with a little bit of spin that sent it outside off the plate. But Aviles with the backhand glove play instead of sliding over to keep it in front. That's twice now that a ball snuck by the Hopper catcher, leading to a run. And that's a play that in the playoffs, I mean, that can change a ball game if a ball sneaks by your catcher, whether it's on the pitcher or the backstop there. On either side, those are ones that need to stay in front and cannot happen down the stretch in an elimination game.
Well, let's just go back to the last time these two teams played. The Hoppers were kind of close, and then the Mammoths had an inning like this where they were the lead ballooned. Well, the Hoppers would fight back, but then seemingly the next time the Mammoths were up, things like that would happen.
Yeah.
And then all that effort was for naught because it was right back to a 4 or 5 run game, and little things like that. Hey, yeah, okay, the difference between 4-0 and 5-0 seems minuscule, but if you push across a couple of runs, if you ever find your way into the Mammoth bullpen, that can be a big difference.
The Mammoths have always had the high ground.
Swing and a miss. You've been waiting for that one.
I haven't been able to mix that one.
No one's put one on the hill yet. I know that's what you.
Yeah, unless Fleming goes Oppo Taco right here. I might be able to double up.
And it's back-to-back punch-outs for Orth, so trying to get this inning back on the tracks.
Even with 4 runs allowed here, it could have been a lot worse.
Still can be because Drew Fleming has that pop in his bat. Well, he hits it high enough, nowhere near far enough. Ferguson a few steps back, and the last 3 Mammoths are out, but it went single, double, single, single error, and 4 Mammoths come across the score. 5-0 Westside. Go to the bottom of the 6th on the USPBL network.
Get rolling and shake it off. Brought to you by Planet Fitness.
Time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, perseverance.
And we do.
We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And music therapy.
We're turning back the clock on Parkinson's and outsmarting blood clots in seconds.
Instead of days.
Because this is her time. His time, your time. And it's time to show we can. Corbell.
And there's the Shake It Off dancers, everybody.
Eastside Diamond Hoppers need a handful of runs. There you see their their year-to-date totals. Team average still pretty good, but Tom, team ERA closer to 5 than 4 is always going to be an issue.
Yeah, it's been on that bullpen over the last couple of weeks that have allowed the runs. They've had great starts. Present John Kelly in his 5 strong innings, allowing just 2 runs. Pierce Banks, Ryan Carolden also serving up good innings as well when they start on the bump. And that ERA, you're right, has just climbed a little bit too high. That's led to 7 losses in the last 10 games for this Eastside squad. But, I mean, they can hit the ball pretty darn good. 25 home runs. They draw 187 walks. But that strikeout total coming close to 300.
This is the last man to reach base safely for the Diamond Hoppers. Bailey Martin doubled back in inning number 3, which feels like an eon ago. Might have been real Mammoths here in Utica then.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You're right.
There you go. See, that one was on a tee for you. That one wasn't even intentional. That was just a hanging curveball. 1-1.
I know Devin likes it. He said that was fine.
You have had better. It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. You're right. Definitely cheesy, but
2-2.
You only get one Star Wars night a year, so got to take advantage of it.
Two misses low and away. 3-2.
That'll be fun.
I don't know. Payoff pitch. Fouled straight back.
This game not out of reach yet for these Hoppers. Got to get back to their old ways of swinging the bat, finding a way to get your leadoff man aboard, and be aggressive on the base paths.
Hard hit ball. Bailey Martin, he's seeing the ball well. Might have been about an hour between at-bats, but 2 quality ones, a double and a single.
Both knocks today for the Hoppers coming from that man at first base and Bailey Martin. Good inside-out swing. Got the barrel to the zone and lifted it out to left.
There you see our 1 moon. Don't some Star Wars planets have like 7 moons?
Several, yeah.
Yes.
The planet of Endor has 4 moons.
Sure. Why not?
That's where the Ewoks are from.
Of course. Who could forget?
Return of the Jedi, man.
You could just be making up Star Wars references,
I could.
and at least to me, 90% of it would just be going over my head.
I hope we have some viewers out there that know exactly.
Well, see, a lot of our viewers, or at least a good portion, are usually parents of players, grandparents of players. So they're probably the group that goes, well, just watch the original 3.
Yep.
I know last time you said, well, you just have to watch the first 6. I don't know. I haven't watched any of them. Colin Cornwell smacked it into left center field. That's extra bases. Coming around third, Martin, he will score without a throw and back-to-back hits. And the Diamond Hoppers are on the board, showing a little bit of life here in the 6th.
That's how they get back to their old ways of swinging the bat. Colin Cornwell goes opposite field, fading that ball into the gap for an RBI double. Great swing. Hopping on Carter Fitzpatrick here in the 6th inning. He has not allowed much today, just that 1 double from Martin, and now it's back-to-back hits for Eastside trying to make a comeback.
That was a big mistake pitch. That was 89 down the pipe. He's lucky to get that ball back, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think Colin caught it completely on the barrel, too. If he did, that ball's probably gone.
Here comes Grant Stevenson. Hit 2 in the air, and he's 0 for 2. 1 to the pitcher, 1 to the right fielder.
There's some light stretching in the right field bullpen from Matt Swilly. Only 1 appearance so far this year in public action. Swilly, the 33-year-old that has played nearly everywhere in professional baseball. Australia, almost every independent ball league besides the Atlantic. Was drafted in 2009 by the Rays.
Hard hit ball, one shortstop to the other. Throw over to first. Did he pick it? He did. Colby Seltzer, Fox Liam, both showing off the glove. And a nice swing from Grant Stevenson is negated by that play.
I'd say that's a look what I found type of play right there, but Colby Seltzer is just so sharp with the leather.
I'm going to say, who found it, him or Liam?
Both of them. Nice job by Fox as well. He got handcuffed on the bounce, and he contorted his body to be able to hang on and keep a foot on the base. Well done from the Mammoths once again.
Anytime you send a fastball faster out than it came in and it results in an out, that's got to be frustrating. Yeah. 92 off the barrel from Stevenson. Here is Noah Marcoux, and he has looked lost tonight. I mean, just if we're being honest, he has not had good swings, and he's a guy that we expect big things from. He was as close to an automatic hitter as we've had in this league this year.
100%. I mean, he still is top 5 in average with a .326 batting average, just under 30 total hits. He just has not been able to find the baseball his last couple of games.
And you look over the last few games for Marcoux, I don't know if he's not seeing the ball well, if he's in his own head, but he has not put up Noah Marcoux type of numbers. And this is a guy that every time we come up to the plate, I think we all sit up a little straighter in our chair expecting a chance at a long ball. He's ahead in the count, 3-1.
He should get a good pitch here from Carter. It's been a heavy diet of off-speed, but that's what it's been all year for Noah. After he went off and hit 2 or 3 home runs in the first 2 weeks of the season, he got a ton more breaking stuff. That's what Carter's been throwing him all day.
Works a walk. That's not a bad way to get out of a funk. Find your way to first base, because Tom, you played baseball. Sometimes every time going back to the dugout, it's just nice to run the bases.
Yeah, it is.
After an at-bat.
Meeting your first base coach down there is a big thing, and it boosts your psyche a little bit when you're struggling in the box. No matter how you get on, if you're able to contribute and score a run at some point and run those bases, it feels a whole heck of a lot better.
Brings up Ben Ferguson.
I definitely had my fair share of slumps, so.
Hard hit ball, and Liam kicks it, flips it over to first, and Fox Liam used his knees to keep it in front. Runners move up, but there's 2 away.
I mean, it pinballed between his knees. No glove at all. That was all on the lower half, and Fitzpatrick once again gets over so quickly.
I'm sure the coaches out there might nitpick. Stay to the inside of that first base bag.
Don't want to get run over.
But good hustle. Yeah, you don't want to see your starter get truck sticked.
And only at 71 pitches through 5 2/3. I'm very impressed with Carter today.
Zeb Rose comes to the plate, the St. Louis native. Big chance here. If you push one through the infield and you make this 5-3, doesn't that feel like just a breath of new life for this Hopper team?
100%. If they could get a clutch 2-out swing, they haven't had one all day. They need a clutch swing with 2 outs to drive in a pair of runs and make this a closer ball game and cut the lead in half.
That's 90, middle. 2-1. 2-2. Beautiful pitch on the breaking ball.
That was nasty. I mean, just completely froze Rose right there. You could kind of see him take that front step and then his legs buckle as that pitch snapped back down at 74.
3 balls, 2 strikes. First base is open. Brian Schellenbarger would be next. He hasn't done much tonight. He's actually had the same night as Rose, just mirrored a K and a ground out. Wave and a miss. Got Rose flailing at strike 3. The Diamond Hoppers get on the board, but that's all they get. We head to the 7th. 5-1 Mammoths here on the USPBL Network.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
6 innings gone, and the Mammoths have a 5-1 lead as they look to get back in sole possession of first place in the USPBL.
They're doing a good job of it so far. Eastside was able to clap back with a run in the 6th, but they're going to need a lot more, especially with how Westside has been swinging the baseball bat. Sharkus had a nice poke last time. 4 runs were able to come across, and Beadle and Cedeno also chipped in with RBIs.
It is coming up to the plate. It's Colby Seltzer, Nick Pastor, and Anthony Sharkus as Harry Orth back on the mound. Did a great job bouncing back after a little bit of rotten luck when he came out of the pen.
And when you allow 4 straight base runners leading to 3 runs, follow that up by back-to-back strikeouts and a pop-out. Limited the damage, even though 4 runs did come in last inning.
Ground ball foul. 1-2 to Colby. Has not reached today. Grounded into a fielder's choice to end the inning. A strikeout and a flyout in that order for the Hazlitt, Texas native. Off the handle, but out of play. 1-2.
Colby just a completely different player than a year ago. 145 hitter last season. Only had 12 hits and 80-some at-bats. And this year, dominant.
Strike 3 called. Dots the low outside corner. Colby doesn't like it, but that's a pretty good call by our home plate umpire.
3 punch-outs in the last 4 batters for Harry Orth. He's starting to get into a little bit of a groove.
Next up, the center field.
Got to be the stopper here. Going to have to eat the next couple of innings, does Orth. He might go the rest of the distance. Just down 5-1. If it was a little bit closer of a game, maybe 2-1, tied up 1-1 apiece, they might go to the pen again. But Harry's been pretty solid after those 4 runs came in.
And again, I can't stress enough the situation that the Hoppers are in with 6 and 8 days. I mean, you think about it, all right, let's try to budget out normal innings. Okay, you hope a starter can throw about 80 to 100 pitches. That's once they get stretched out in full go. Would you say that's about fair? 80 to 95 pitches is what we'll see?
I think so.
So you have 3 starters, and let's say those get you at best 6 innings. All right, so that's 18 out of 50 innings you have to pitch, and now you have 5 relievers to go the other 32 innings. That means you're asking each reliever to go 6 innings.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean,
Orth might have to pitch tomorrow. Who knows?
Right. Throw over to first, and Pastor grounds out. Last 5 Mammoths have been retired.
It's been a good bounce back. I know it was a rough 6th inning, but all you can do now is get these Mammoths out in order. Try to get your offense back into the dugout to have a big inning. We saw some flashes of the offensive power from Eastside. Colin Cornwell with the RBI double last frame. If they can do that again and put together a couple more, it'll be a close game.
Sharkus pops the first one up, but that's back in over our head. And likely out of the ballpark. 0-1. Save that for home runners. 1-1. That one would have won over.
Solid.
1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
would have completed the Kessel run in under 12 parsecs.
That was a different one. 1-2. Sharkus takes a moment. There you see Matt Swilly getting ready in the pen. Could see him as early as the bottom of the 7th. And if we did, how about Carter Fitzpatrick? He very well could come out to try to go 7. Pitch counts there.
Yeah, Cutter's been awesome today. I mean, we've seen dominant innings besides that hiccup in the 6th where he gave up back-to-back hits.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball under the glove of Todd Maddox. And Sharkus will reach with 2 away. No 1-2-3 inning for the Mammoths. They will find a guy on by hook or by crook.
Nice swing from Anthony. This is a guy that was out with an injury the last couple of weeks. He has just been getting back into the swing of things. Was in a little bit of a slump offensively since coming back and has cracked a couple of base hits to the left side, including a maybe double in the 6th inning.
A hit nonetheless.
Right. I mean, he's poking the ball right now and is hitting it hard.
Sharkus has 2 of the now 10 Mammoth hits. That's just what they do. They're just a barrage. There's no weak spot in the lineup. Like, okay, obviously it's baseball. Guys will have off days. But there's no stretch of 3 or 4 batters where you go, all right, we have these guys coming up. Let's get through it quickly.
Even in a 10-5 loss last week on August 9th to the Beavers, they put up 5 runs on 11 hits. So they're averaging close to 7, 8, 9 hits per game. And with that and a few extra walks, you're going to find yourself with a high run total. And that's why they average just about 5 runs a game.
Zach Beadle singled in a run his last time. Probably have to find a gap in deep part of one to get an RBI here. Velas, nice job being the backstop. Count at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Orth comes set, holds that glove just above the belt. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Bounces back from the single to punch out Beadle. And it is stretch time here on Star Wars Night at Jimmy John's Field. We'll take you to Take Me Out to the Ball Game, presented all season long by Genesis Credit Union.
Your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Nighttime here at Jimmy John's Field. Lights illuminating the ballpark is giving away t-shirts. Always gets people excited. And here at Jimmy John's, such an intimate environment. If you come here, you have a pretty good shot at coming away with some sort of souvenir.
Oh, yeah. So do we.
Yes. Matt Swilly comes to the bump. He has had just 1 appearance so far, but Swilly has some pretty electric stuff. And when it finds the zone, he can be dangerous.
I mean, he throws heat. We're looking at anywhere from 95 to 98, may touch triple digits if he gets a little extra reaching back. But Swilly made a start back on August 9th. He started against the Beavers, only went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 1 hit and walked 5. So when you said when it finds the zone, it's deadly, but it is when the control is there. Swilly's just kind of pulled that baseball a little bit, faded it a little bit out into right-handed hitters. If he's dialed in on the mound and can command that zone, he's going to be just fine. But let's see if these Hoppers, in the case that Swilly does have some command issues, are able to take advantage.
Have to imagine down 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. The game plan is take a pitch.
Yep, take till you get a strike. Unless it's right down the middle and you know you're going to hammer it, make him throw you at least 2-3 strikes in an at-bat.
Swilly, a fastball the majority of the time. He'll work a splitter and a sweeper as well. Brian Schellenbarger, Todd Maddox, and Luis Aviles to welcome Matt to the bump. First pitch swinging from Schellenbarger, 97-mile-per-hour fastball sliced out of play.
Just a tad bit late, but got some barrel on it. Shelly's got to get that front foot down quickly and go after this pitch.
Swilly out of the stretch. Shook off a couple he didn't like. Schellenbarger used his 1 timeout. Fastball just misses away, 1-1. Swilly, a little bit of a pause in his windup. He'll take that step back and then bring that leg up pretty quickly and deliver. Way outside, 2-1.
That pitch just let go a little bit too early. When it's out in front, it finds the middle of the zone. When it's up back near the ear, that's when it takes that high tail way outside.
3 pitches, 3 fastballs.
Just changing the eye levels there.
There's the way to put the positive spin on it.
Always got a spin zone.
Well, then he went low, right at the knees. Schellenbarger upset he missed that one because that was center cut of the plate, just knee high.
And 2 miles an hour down from the average 97 out of the hand of Matt.
2-2 to Schellenbarger. Ground out and a strikeout today. 3-2. He's either right where you want it or easy take.
Yeah. We've only seen one borderline pitch that missed for a ball.
Into the motion. 3-2. Ground ball to the right side. For the second time tonight, Schellenbarger grounds out to Walker. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Good battle back there from Matt. Lost a couple of pitches and then sends one at the very bottom part of the plate. Could go either way, maybe a little bit down, but Schellenbarger has to swing at that pitch, and he hooks it to the right side.
Todd Maddox to the plate. Pop out and a fly out. Looks to be another fly out. If anyone can get there, foul territory, and no one can. That one just kept tailing and tailing, and as fast as Jose Cedeno can move, wasn't quick enough to run that one down.
Yeah, he had to travel a long way for that one. Liam.
First time we've seen the off-speed.
Top rung. That was very close. Beetle tried to fit that in, make it look like a strike, and it was there. Maddox with a wise take.
Hit hard but foul. Couldn't quite catch up to the 96-mile-per-hour heater, and there's 2 strikes.
Yeah, both Schellenbarger and Maddox now late on that fastball. He's got to make some sort of an in-at-bat adjustment to get on time with it.
There's a fair amount of pitchers in this league that will throw low 91, 92, and few will touch up to 94, but we do not very often see consistently 97.
Nope.
There's 97 center cut, fouled straight back.
It's been his top so far this year, 97 miles an hour. And it's effective, as we're seeing right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Wave and a miss. Got him with the splitter. Maddox was sitting fastball, and there's 2 away.
That was filthy. Great pitch from Swilly. Starts about knee high and then dives down. We saw Carter Fitzpatrick throw that pitch a little bit ago, about 2 innings ago, and get a huge swing and miss. That came from Zeb Rose. Same thing right there from Swilly.
Luis Aviles 0 for 2 today. Like many of his contemporaries. Takes strike 1, 95, inner part of the plate for strike 1.
He's fine in the zone right now. We've only seen a couple misses, a couple wide misses. Those were to Schellenbarger in the leadoff at-bat. Everything else has been in and around the zone.
That one in the dirt. One ball, 1 strike. Swilly from the extreme first base side of the rubber into the motion. Misses away, 2-1. 5-1 Mammoths here in the 7th.
Hoppers running out of outs. Just 1 run on 3 hits so far today. 2 of those coming in the 6th.
They gave up 4 in the top half of the 6th to the Mammoths. Aviles ahead in the count, 3-1.
You don't want to put a guy on for Bailey Martin if you're Matt Swilly in this Mammoth team. Bailey's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. He's been hot.
Seeing the ball well. Both of those were against Carter Fitzpatrick. Foul. Out in front of the 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
That's how you make an adjustment, Luis Aviles. Getting that foot down early, gripping and ripping. Just a little bit out ahead.
Counts full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 away. Swilly looking for the second strikeout of the frame. Swing and a foul. Ooh, that caught Beetle. He will take a moment, very understandably so. That was 95. I think that caught that glove hand.
It did. He's been beat up this year. All the catchers between the 4 teams, we've seen at least one time or another each individual take a beating.
An inordinate amount of catchers catching foul tips. Some getting them in some pretty peculiar places. I mean, I feel like these catchers have been in the ice tub more than just about anyone else. And it comes with the position, but man, it feels like they're getting beaten up a heck of a lot more than last year. 3-2. Wave and a miss. Got him with the breaking ball. Swilly, back-to-back punch-outs, and the Hoppers go down in order. We go to the 8th. Still 5-1 Mammoths on the US PBL Network.
I'm Anthony Tomey, CEO of Tomey Group, and we're one of the largest Jimmy John franchisees in the country. With 50 Jimmy Johns and over 700 employees, it's a challenge to manage operations. What could possibly go wrong with owning 50 Jimmy Johns? People don't show up, equipment fail, run out of bread, no tomatoes, we need onions. Many different things can happen. Tryon allows us to really focus on the food and the operations of the restaurant.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Everyone has something that motivates them to do better. And for me, that's my daughter Shelby. I named Shelby Construction Services after her as a reminder to always run the company in a way that would make her proud. Our goal isn't just to get the job done, but to get it done right. And that means making sure every customer has a 5-star experience. I think how a company treats you is just as important as the finished product. My daughter wouldn't have it any other way.
Call 833-6-SHELBY. That's 833-6-SHELBY.
Top of the 8th, 5-1 Westside on top of the Diamond Hoppers. And you see right there on the line score that top of the 6th has been the difference.
It has. A huge inning from Westside. They were able to pick up 4 to widen the margin from 1 to a 5-0 lead. Eastside was able to scrape back with 1 in the 6th, but they're just going to need a little bit more with only 6 outs to go if they want to try to climb back in this ball game. 3-7 in their last 10 games for Eastside. They need a win today badly. I'd love to see a late comeback from them, but very impressed with Westside and the start that Carter Fitzpatrick had, and that relief inning from Matt Swilly with a pair of strikeouts.
Harry Orth back out for a 3rd inning of work in relief, and there is a little bit of movement in that Hopper bullpen. If Orth gets through this fairly quickly, I could imagine he comes out for the 9th.
I think so as well. You'd rather keep Orth in to finish this out and then give him the day off tomorrow than instead put Caleb Rush, who's out there in the left field bullpen for the Hoppers, and make him get ready to go and expend him a day so that he's off tomorrow as well. But you never know, because these guys might all have to pitch again tomorrow. Orth probably not, as he's approaching 50.
Cedeno, Walker, Liam, 9-1-2 in the order. Due up for Westside, and the lineup's about to turn over for a 4th time tonight. Two 2-0. Jam shot popped up. Maddox charges, makes the basket catch for out number 1.
At first, that looked easy. Maddox, though, was playing back at 3rd. He had to run a long way for this one. A lot of spin on this baseball, not a lot of distance. Maddox makes the shoelace catch. Best thing you can do right now if you're Harry Orth and these Hoppers is have a quick inning in the field and then get back to the plate and try to do some damage.
Through 7 frames, the Mammoths have not gone down in order. They've had a smattering of 4 batter innings, but they have it's been constant pressure. And the Hopper pitchers, they've just had to make some big pitches. They haven't been able to put it in cruise control.
It was John Kelly who was always working out of jams in those first several frames. And then Orth, he had to pitch out of a 4-run inning in the 6th.
2-0. Two and 1. Vilas has stolen that strike a couple times. Lifted high, fairly deep, but playable for Zeb. Rose goes back, and he makes the catch. Had to reach back a little farther than he thought, and Walker knows he just missed that one.
I mean, barely. That pitch was right down the middle. A little bit underneath. That was the only difference. That ball just continued to carry into that gap. As you mentioned, Rose almost let that thing sail over just because of the distance Walker had.
Fox Liam to the plate.
Would be a very clutch time to get a 1-2-3 inning.
Fox Liam not the candidate to do it with, though. 2 of 3 tonight. He's reached base 3 times. Good first pitch, however. 0-1.
He swung right over top of that breaking ball.
Hit high and deep to right field. Just missed it. Schellenbarger in the shadow of the fence, and Fox Liam flies out, and look at that, a 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Mammoths. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 5-1 Westside on the USPBL network.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Bottom of the 8th. Having fun here on a Wednesday night here at Jimmy John's Field. Oh, there we are behind the graphic. Hello. Yeah, there we are on the first base line. Hello, everyone. Brady Beaton, Tom Cavanaugh right there. There's Devin behind me. Our lead. Oh, see, he had to get out of the way, but we got him for a second. Lead data analytic intern. And, you know, Tom, it's a little sad. This is the last game I'm doing before Devin has to return to school, unless we do track him down and force him to stay here.
I'm not opposed to it. Maybe steal JJ's leash for a second and just.
Yeah, I don't want Devin to leave because he has done a wonderful job for us. But it's Sunday's your last day here, right? Yeah, so we won't. If we're a little slower with the numbers and a little slower with some of the stats next week, that's why.
Or obsolete with the stats.
Yeah, exactly.
Like explaining to you how many splitters that Carter Fitzpatrick throws in an outing, how many go for strikes, how many outs are recorded on those splitters. That's tough information for either one of us to try to put together, but not for Devin. So
no,
you're right.
He'll just throw us some random stat at the beginning of the game, and it usually becomes relevant by the end of it.
And this is also our last game together as well for the rest of the year.
So next week I have a couple of games, and then Tom's off, and then those next two are my last two, and well, Tom will finish you off. Him and Alex will take you through the championship. So I'll make sure I'll be tuning into that one. But yeah, it's the summer went quickly.
It did. You got some important things coming up though very soon.
A little bit, yes. It's I was able to fit this one in on a Wednesday. Actually getting married on Saturday. So thank you.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. So figured this was about as close to the wedding day as I could push working without having to worry about, the actual wedding. I would like it to go well. Yeah, well, I'll make sure to check in during the reception for the beavers and the unicorns. I'll make sure
we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, I'll have to let you know. I'm making sure that's a part of my wedding day.
We'll make sure to give you a big shout out as well.
Sounds good.
Of course.
3-1 to Bailey Martin as he's trying to find his third hit of the day. Matt Swilly, we're into the motion. Called strike right on the corner. The delayed right hand perturbed Bailey Martin a bit, and he'll use his timeout.
Matt Swilly working back from a 3-1 count. It has not been the large misses that we saw last time out from Matt. Only a few that have gone kind of awry, high and outside, back to the backstop. Everything else, he's been living very close to the zone, and that's why he retired the side in the 7th.
Strike 3. Just above the knees, middle of the plate. I don't think Martin was still happy with that strike 2 call as he heads back to the dugout. 3 straight punch-outs for Swilly.
Yeah, completely different Matt Swilly that we're seeing from the last time out where he walked 4 and 2 1/3. Very impressive, and that's his first looking strikeout.
You don't usually use this comparison with pitchers, but he's almost like the home runner's strikeout hitter.
Yeah.
Where, hey, when he misses, I mean, Beetle might as well not even move. It's going to the backstop. But when he's in the zone and effective, it's strikeout. Like, he is attacking, and he is tough to square up.
He's sitting down these hitters. It's going to be on Cornwell here with 1 gone.
He doubled last time, went the opposite way. '97 misses a bit inside. Into the motion. Lifted the other way. That's carrying. Sharkus goes back. It's tailing, and he can't make the sliding catch. Cornwell up to second. He'll pause right there, and back-to-back doubles for the former Saginaw Valley Cardinal, as there's a one away here in the 8th.
Sharkus went back to the track and then had to cut back in. He read it a little weird, thought the ball was going to travel farther, even though it was continuing to fade towards the foul line. Sharkus, as he slid down, just could not make the catch. When you put the ball in play, good things will happen. Nice swing from Cornwell.
Just had so much of that slice to it.
Yeah. At first, I thought I had a chance to get out of here, and Sharkus might have thought the same thing. And then he took his route out to the wall and then had to jut back in to slide and make the catch. I think that weird angle and that pivot of the foot is what kind of tripped him up.
I thought the same thing when he hit it. I thought that probably was off the wall, if anything else, because it's 315 down the left field line. So not a great poke. You can get one to muscle out over that wall. And with as hard as Swilly throws, he's going to supply a majority of the power. Grant Stevenson 0 for 3, squared the last one up, however. Wave and a miss. It's been a pair of off speeds to Grant, and it's 0-2.
That was what he was expecting at all from Swilly on those first couple of pitches. That's why he's going to take a TO.
Does he go back to the splitter, or do you pump 97 over the plate?
I like 97. Keep it on the outside corner. Try to get a looking strike 3. Stevenson will have to pull the trigger if it's borderline. But Beetle set up on the inside half now.
Came in on the hands, went back to the splitter. Swilly out of the stretch. Checks on Cornwell, comes set. Jam shot popped up right behind the mound, and Swilly makes the catch. A couple of times we've seen the pitchers field their position nicely, and there's 2 away.
Just right behind the mound. I think Swilly was waiting for somebody to call him off. He was standing a little bit in front of the baseball waiting for either middle infielder, and then just pokes the glove out at it. Nice catch from Matt.
Up comes Noah Marcoux.
That ball also wasn't hit terribly high, so it was Swilly's play to make.
Noah Marcoux yet to put the ball in play. 2 strikeouts and a walk. Ball 1.
A run or 2 this inning still gives you life going into the 9th. Makes it a lot more manageable, and you don't have to put together a very large, long inning in that 9th to try to win it.
1-0, 2-0. And I know Marcoux has heavily struggled the last couple of outings for him. Still, this isn't a guy you play around with. Most people would, if you look at what he's done, you're going, okay, he's due for a hard hit ball somewhere. There was the swing to do it. That was 94 center cut.
Yeah, just right through it. A little bit underneath the baseball there. And that pitch was literally right down the middle.
2-1. Cornwell been parked at second for a minute. 2-2. Chased one away.
And that's some sweet run. I mean, that pitch started down the middle and just cut right to the outside part of the plate. Crazy movement on that pitch from Swilly.
2-2. Strike 3. Marcoux goes down for the 3rd time tonight. Swilly has fanned 4, and we go to the 9th. 5-1 Mammoths are on top. They'll look from insurance as we head to the final frame on the USPBL Network.
We build,
Roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers, our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start at mortgagematchup.com. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's easier and more affordable is to find a local home loan expert first. Go to mortgagematchup.com today.
Top of the ninth, and Caleb Rush has come on to try to keep this game right where it's at.
18th appearance for Caleb Rush this season. 25 strikeouts compared to 20 walks in 21 and a third innings pitched. He's allowed 25 runs on 23 hits and 7 wild pitches in that time. Rush just needs to put up a 0, give his offense a chance. They only have 4 hits to show for it through 4 innings with just 1 run across. It's been a rough couple of games in public play for Eastside, and it's coming at the worst time. This is the second to last week of regular season baseball before we hit playoffs in that first week of September. And this is the time when you want your guys playing the best brand of baseball. You want your hitters peaking around this time. And Eastside, they're going to need to find something to change up later this week and into next week. But the good thing is, Brady, they have enough baseball to play this week that they should be able to figure it out.
Yeah, they can't let any one game loom on them. Whether they play well or not, they have to have a quick memory, because outside of after tomorrow's game, it's going to be boom, 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 hey, get ready. Especially when you get into the groove of the USPBL season through May, June, and even most of July, you might play at most 3 games, and that includes if you have when we had the Saturday doubleheaders, if you play in both of those. So you had a lot of time. It was almost more akin to a football schedule where, hey, you gear up for 1 game at the end of the week. I mean, usually they'd get at least 2, but you'd gear up for the weekend and then get a chance to kind of reflect and figure out what went right and what went wrong as Zach Weaver punches out. But right now it's more like a major league schedule where you're playing most days and you just have to go, go, go.
Yeah, nearly a minor league schedule where they play 6 out of the 7 days a week. And you're right, it's going to be tough on these hitters. All the guys that play every single day, I mean, you're going to have some substitutions, but it's definitely going to weigh the most on this pitching staff with only 8 relievers.
Fleming went around on the check swing, 0-1. Hill 1. Jam shot. Popped up, foul territory. Out number 2. Colby Seltzer to the plate. He's 0 for 4. Pair of looking punch outs with a ground out and a fly out mixed in.
Good job from Caleb Rush. Second in relief for Harry Orth. He gets a strikeout and a weak pop out to 2 of the best hitters on this team.
Rush comes set. First pitch misses away, ball 1. Rush has done a nice job through the first 2 batters. Throwing strikes, that's a big thing for Caleb.
Especially looking at the numbers, 26 strikeouts now to 20 walks. And the one thing I don't want to go unnoticed in this ball game is the effort that John Kelly gave for this team. He gave up 2 runs on 5 hits in 109 pitches. He stranded a runner in each of the first 6 innings, or first 5 innings, I should say. Unbelievable stuff from John. He was the workhorse today and gave all he could.
Two and one to Colby Seltzer.
And if the score stands, John Kelly will move to 8-2 on the year. Still the best record in the league.
We mentioned it all the way back in the beginning, the run support, and you give up 2 through 5+ innings. You feel like you should have a shot to win that game, but when that 6th inning just compounded and compounded, you were down 5-0. You felt like that was the TKO blow in the middle frames.
And it was just bad bounces. I mean, there was one sharp swing from Anthony Sharkis. Other than that, we didn't see anything really hit out of the infield. I know Pastor flicked one into left, but that was a floater. And then the error on the swing from Walker that went up the middle. Everything else was not hard hit besides Sharkis.
Three-two. Easy take, and Seltzer works the walk. We'll give Nick Pastor another chance to come to the box.
Next up, the center fielder number 2, Nick Pastor.
It's going to be interesting to see in that 9th inning, the bottom half, if Matt Swilly comes back out or if we see a different face on the mound. It would not be someone that we are used to seeing pitch.
No one's in the bullpen right now, so.
Yeah.
It's either.
I'd like to see him pitch, but I also like what Swilly's been doing through 2 innings.
Popped up, that one will get out of play, foul. The 0-1. Low and in, 1-1. 5-1 Mammoths here in the 9th.
Pastor with the best day offensively with a couple of hits. Nobody else on this Mammoth team can claim that besides Fox Liam.
2-1. Seltzer very cautiously off that first base bag. Pastor pops it up. This one more than playable. Maddox brings it in on the move. And the Hoppers need 4 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. You're watching the USPBL Network.
For the Mammoths in the 9th inning. Hold on to your seats, everybody. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. It's the Mammoths 5.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
You know, they say, losing hope, that's the real disaster. Last year, Tropical Storm Fred sent a devastating wall of water and debris down this river. And when the waters receded, Belfour was here. Not just to rebuild, but to help restore the life of this community. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Bottom of the 9th. Ferguson, Rose, Schellenbarger. They're tasked to keep this game alive as Matt Swilly coming out for a 3rd inning of work.
Mention take till you get a strike. This is where that comes into play the most. Ben Ferguson to lead us off. He cannot go after a pitch unless he sees a strike from Swilly. Matt has been awesome the last 2 innings, has only allowed 1 base runner. That was the double from Cornwell. And they're going to need more than just a couple of big swings here from the Hoppers to come back in this ball game.
Swilly has fanned 4 of the 7 batters he's faced. Only 1 has put it past the infield.
That's dominance.
0-1. 0-2. Fastball just overpowering Ben Ferguson.
He needs to take time. That's an upper fastball in the inside corner that he swung and missed through. Then that one goes middle, a little bit low. Comes up empty again. Very impressive from Swilly we're seeing right now.
Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 96 on the gun. And Matt Swilly surgical tonight.
5 Ks through 2 1/3. My goodness.
Said it when he came in. If he's in the zone, he's tough to hit. He's been in the zone a lot more than he hasn't been. Zebros to the plate.
Most impressive part about it is he's been in pro ball as long as I've started watching Star Wars movies. I mean, drafted in 2009 in the 21st round by the Tampa Bay Rays, and you're still doing this, throwing 97. Hats off to you, big fella.
I'm saying 09, I was 13. So, summer birthday, so I was 12, turning 13. I think I was getting ready for 7th grade, if I remember correctly.
It's about accurate, yeah.
Probably playing first year Babe Ruth baseball.
Oh, so,
yeah. Finally got the big barrels when he got drafted.
What was there? Babe Ruth. There was the Pony League.
Yeah,
there was
that.
The U-Trip. Little League, which we'll see on ESPN this week.
We had one up where I was called. It was a wood bat league for high school called the Connie Mack. Just basically any old baseball player from before World War II has a league named after them. 94. Yeah,
oh, he's not happy.
I wouldn't be either. I mean, 94 up near the shoulder isn't going to feel good.
And that's just expressing some frustration to minimize the pain on the shoulder. He's not mad at Swilly. He's just trying to exert a little. Maybe that pitch got away from him.
He might be a little.
At least it didn't ear hole him.
You're right, but
that's what I would do if I get hit and I'm in some pain. You got to do something aggressive to try to counteract that.
I would not blame him at all for being upset. Ground ball, 3-6, off the glove. The game goes on. Schellenbarger went to turn to second. He blew a tire, and he'll go back to first, and the Hoppers live on for at least another pitch.
It was a great turn. Just off the tip of the glove of Swilly at first base. He had to kind of gather himself, catch the bag, catch all at the same time, and it just got past him.
Yeah, the Hoppers are down to their last out. Now batting the third baseman, number 13, Tom Maddox.
It's a conversation between field umpire Nick Kubitsky and Colby Stelzer at the middle of the field. One out to go, Brady Beaton. It's been a great summer with you, man.
It has. I've enjoyed it a lot. Tom and I didn't really know each other before that. Oh, hold on. Are we getting a pitching change real quick? Or what's the conversation? Taylor Jelenkowski's had some questions. You know, I didn't notice anything, what they could be talking about, but I'm sure he doesn't usually have a conversation unless he really feels there's something.
Yeah, unless there's a real fair gripe, he's going to talk about it. But it was Stelzer who initiated a first conversation, and I think they're I honestly, I'm going to call it as it is. I have no idea what this is about. I can try to speculate all I want, but...
Yeah, Tom, I did not know Tom before we started working together here, and I'd say we had some pretty quick chemistry, and I hope that everyone at home has enjoyed it as much as we've had doing it this year.
100%. As soon as the first game hopped on, I mean, it was easy clicking, and we were a great team, I thought, all year long.
I'd agree. I very much enjoyed it this summer, and hopefully, well, I know we both each have games left to do, but hopefully we'll be back opening day in 25 working right next to each other again.
Yes, sir.
First pitch misses way away, and Schellenbarger will move up into scoring position, though his run means a whole lot of nothing right now.
We haven't seen a pitch like that from Swilly since he last faced Schellenbarger. That was back in the 7th inning.
When there's no one on, when you miss bad, hey, it's a ball all the same. But as soon as you get someone on, I think that's where Swilly can run into problems and have the game spiral a bit, is because if there's no one on, all right, it's ball one, whatever, go attack the next pitch. There, moves the guy up now in a 4-run game, less consequential. But that one can hurt if you come in and do a close game. Ooh. That one fouled right off the ground and off the leg of Todd Maddox. Ugh.
Yeah, that one stung. He might need to back the tank after that. Now, just curiosity peaking at this point, Brady. Drew Fleming warming up in the bullpen with 2 outs and a 1-1 count. I'm confused. I mean, maybe just get him a bullpen for later this week.
Hey, bring him in.
That was our tease earlier.
Yes,
we were talking about same faces and new
look at
places.
him. Look, like, nothing against Matt Swilly. He's done great.
He's been awesome.
I want to see Drew Fleming. And that one got away again, and Schellenbarger will move up to third. But again, in a 4-run game, not a lot of consequences there.
No. Just one more out to get for Swilly to put the cherry on top here and complete the 20th win of the season for Westside. It'd be a big one. Because you look at the standings, tied for first place with Westside are the Utica Unicorns, standing at 20-17. A win today for Westside gets them a half game up going on to tomorrow.
2-1. Hard hit ball right at the shortstop. Seltzer on the backhand across the diamond, and Swilly will finish it off, get the last 3 innings, pick up a save, and the Mammoths win it 5-1 as they continue their dominance over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
You said it. That's what it's been. Dominance from the Mammoths over Eastside all year long, improving to a 9-4 record in the series between the East-West rivalry. Complete W today from these guys on the West Side. Leadoff walk from Jake Walker to start the game. He comes around to score. You add 4 more in the 6th inning, starting with Nick Pastor, Zach Beadle, Cedeno. They grab RBIs. John Kelly was awesome for the Hoppers. 109 pitches. He gave everything to this team tonight, but the run support just wasn't there. Another public game that's back-to-back for Eastside, where they were only able to scrap together 1 run.
Mammoths now alone in first place by a half game, 20-16 overall. Tomorrow, Tom Cavanaugh will be with you for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. So the Hoppers going to need to turn around pretty quickly and put this one in the rearview mirror.
With 6 games this week, they absolutely need to. Short memory, move on to tomorrow. I'll be on with Jacob Maurer, our producer and director over in the production booth. I'm really excited to be on with him.
Well, appreciate everyone, Tom. Again, it's been a fun summer with you, I'm sure. This won't be the last time we work together. Absolutely I can tell you that. So thank you to Tom all season long. I'll still see some of these production guys next week as I finish up my time here. But thank you for watching and making us a part of your Wednesday night. Mammoths take it 5-1 as they move into first place. Thanks again for watching. Hope you all have a safe and wonderful night.